Hello and welcome back to another final table commentary. Today we got a 10k PKO from WCOOP 2025. Got Lena back on the final table with an ace and a king. Just going to call from the button here. Playing super deep, serve them in out of there from the small. Numbers guy in the big comes along with 6-5. We got Bowie Effect, Efkinus, Grozorg, Lequendin, Hypnosis with this 10-9-0. Pre-flop aggression, we'll check it on over, and Chris is there as well. Once we reach 6 players, we'll get $15,000 locked up. First and second get $87,000, and you see the other numbers there along the bottom. Ace King does make a pair on the turn here. Lena bets quite big. 5.5 straight draw for Hypnosis. Probably just folds. Yeah, Lena will take that one down. Interesting little start to the final table here. Lequendin with an ace and a queen will open that bad boy up. Yeah, 50 some blinds. Thanks to KalipokerTV Poker Replays for the replay. If at any point in time you find yourself not giving a shit for the commentary, there'll be a link in the description down below to the video. And KalipokerTV, so you can go check out some more poker action in some silence. Ace Queen will just raise and take it down pre. Ace 5 suited for Hypnosis. That surely looks like a winner. Ace 5 comes in for the open. Bowie with a couple of 7s in the small blind. If we were shorter, we might let them go, but I think we have to call here off 42 blinds. It'd be interesting to see a 3-bet, but probably not as likely. Call comes in. Jack 5 suited for Efkinus in the big. Suited and booted. Efkinus comes along. 4-4-3. Straight flush draw for Hypnosis. 7s are still best. Jack 5 suited with a little bit of backdoor equity. If the bet's small enough, ooh, flopped. We'll just check around. Efkinus gets a free card, picks up a straight draw. They'll get out of there. Bowie with a boat. Hypnosis only drawing to the 2 of diamonds. Nice little check here by the boat. Efkinus with the biggest stack. Michael for a bluffski. That they do. They bet 3 blinds. Hypnosis will feel like they have to call. They still got the best flush draw possible. They're aware it's a pair board, but they click the call button. Bowie's going to be tempted to raise it up here. They don't really want the river to go check, check, check. We could just call and see a river though. Bowie does elect to raise the turn 14 blinds. I don't know if Hypnosis hangs in there. We're going to find out real swiftly. Efkinus should surely just fold Jack 5, a straight draw to the 6. We do get a call by the nut flush draw. Ace on the river. Top pair with no real kicker. Actually play the 7. Aces and 4s with a 7 kicker. You don't expect any better ace-x to check raise the turn? That doesn't make any sense. Might be a few 4x's, straights, and boats. And obviously there's a few missed draws. Just some sort of like 8-5 of diamonds. No, you blocked that. That 5 of diamonds is actually a horrific card to be holding. Hopefully Hypnosis just finds the fold. I'm thinking you block 5-6 of course, but you block 8-5, some sort of 9-5 of diamonds, maybe 6-9 of diamonds. Oof. 5-2 of diamonds made a straight on the river. That diamond, that 5 of diamonds is such an interesting card. The pair of aces end up fold. Nice fold by Hypnosis. Could always be tempted there with that $3,700 bounty on Bowie's head, but the ace hits the muck. Good stuff. Ace 10 for Lena. They'll open next hand up. Queen 8 for Grozorg in the big blind has a $6,200 bounty on their head. 37 blinds. Right, 36.5. I rounded up, whatever. Grozorg makes bottom pair, backdoor straight draw. Lena with the middle pair, best kicker. They got a backdoor straight draw as well. Oof. Lena gets a call by the bottom pair, and bingo, 8 on the turn. 3 of a kind for Grozorg. They're gonna lead out 3/4, and the pair of 10s just quickly hits the muck. Nice fold by Lena. Interesting little happening there. I've heard of a lot of three of a kinds leading the turn. I didn't know they were supposed to go that big. Usually it's a little smaller. Cruiser knows what they're doing though. Unfortunately, didn't get any value. Probably a pair of kings will call. Good draws, like straight draws and flush draws. Cruiser surely still get some value there, even though they had the queen of spades. So I was thinking, what an interesting happening. And serve them in with an ace and a jack. They'll raise and take down the next hand. No action for them. Quentin with jack 7. I thought we were going to be forced to play that against Hypnosis in the small blind, but no, they just fold. Numbers guy with king queen will open it up. Just the min raise. Chris in the big with ace 2 suited. We'll think about a 3-bet, but probably just play call. Ace 2 suited really sucks, but it's better than ace 2-0. So I think we call. King jack 6 flop, no diamonds. Chris with the backdoor straight draw will just check fold most likely. Facing about a half pot size bet. Lots of draws out there. Ace 2 of diamonds. Can't do nothing. Chris does get rewarded with ace queen the next hand. We got ace 7 for Lena in the big. If it folds around to the blinds, we could get a little action. Typically the small blind wants to limp in here when you're covered by the big blind, but if you got a nice big hand, could see a 3 blind open. Chris says, nah, stick to the standard limping strategy. Ace 7 could have raised it pretty, but Lena says, I've got plenty of playability. Chris will see a free flop, I guess. Queen, queen, 8. 3 of a kind. Bet small, gets a call by the ace high, drawing dead. Deuce on the turn. If I'm Chris, I just size up here. Chris doesn't even go that big. Ace high might think about a call. Deuce is a brick. 7 of clubs doesn't mean much, but Lena reasonably gets the heck out of there. Good job by Lena not to bloat the pot there with ace 7. Chris with the monster. Like if Lena raises pre-flop, Chris probably 3-bets and takes the pot down. Maybe they just call, go post-flop, maybe Lena blasts off. Probably not though. Anyways, we'll move along. Jack 9 suited. Bowie opens ace ace for LaQuendon. We'll 3-bet to 7 blinds. Bowie with Jack 9 suited says, I like this hand, but I can't do nothing here. Finds the fold, and we're moving on along. King 6 suited, another fun hand. He has to hit the muck. Hypnosis with Queen 8 suited. Looks like an open from the hijack. 10-9 suited for Elena. Covering Hypnosis. Finds the call from the button. Ace 7 2, no clubs, 1 spade. Elena with the backdoor straight draw to boot. Gets checked to. Has a reason to bluff here. Goes real small and queen high hits the muck. Nice little steal by Elena. Ace king in the small for numbers guy. Got a 12k bounty on their head. We'll see if anything happens. Ace 4 suited for Hypnosis. So there's a world where Hypnosis opens. Numbers guy 3-bets non all in, and we get a 4-bet bluff by ace 4 suited. Possible. Always possible. Circle him in with 10-9. Oh, finds a call from the button. I think it's a little less likely now. Numbers guy just rips 36 blinds. Ace 4 suited has to hit the muck, and 10-9 as well. So numbers guy takes down a small one there with a 3-bet pre. Yeah, I think the Servleman call certainly saved us from the big blow up there by Hypnosis. Once you got that other player in the hand, you never know if they got some sort of like pocket 9s or some shit. You don't really want to blast off with ace 4 suited into a hand 60 blinds deep. Anyways, Chris with ace 10 will open it up and probably just take this down pre-Afghanis with bullshit in the big blind. Ace 5 suited for Servleman. They got the biggest stack on the table. I don't know if Lena opens queen 5. What I'm trying to say is no real fireworks here. Lena lets go with the queen 5 suited. Servleman will open 2 blinds. King 2 suited for Bowie isn't a 3-betting hand. Certainly not in this situation. King 9 for Efkinus could always 3-bet, but probably not. We're second place. We don't really want to 3-bet first place right now, I don't think. Efkinus. Don't do it, dude. We could just get a 4-bet bluff by Ace 5 suited. This raise will just get through pre. A lot of words for no action. Ace King for Chris. Chris will open it up. King Jack for Bowie does cover Chris here for a $6,200 bounty. King Jack O is no King Jack suited. Don't really want to call. A 3-bet bluff could come in though. The bluff does come in, 7 blinds to go. Ace King suited can't go wrong here. Even calling and going post flop isn't horrific, but 4-bet is most likely. I don't know if we have to go all in either. Chris might come in for a small 4-bet. Personally, I might take the 4-bet jam spot. Just a little easier to play out of position. 45 blinds is a big jam though. So what size would we go? Like 16.5? Is that too small? Can we ever go like 15? No, I don't think so. Chris thinks this one through. He says, I think we just have to jam. They take it down pre. Ace 4 for Grozorg. They open the button. We get an interesting flop here with Hypnosis 9-8 suited, seeing Ace Jack 2 with 2 hearts out there. Grozorg with that little 4 hearts. Go for the small bet. Hypnosis covers Grozorg, so we could take an aggressive line. They say, no, we'll just call and see a turn. 6 at diamonds. Doesn't bring in any draws. And we get a free king of diamonds on the river. Let's see if Hypnosis elects to bluff here. It's hard to rip anything too credible. Obviously there's Queen 10. You bet 2 blinds, a pair of aces quickly calls. Like Ace Jack probably check raises the flop. Like there's Ace 6 maybe. Like Ace 2 is probably gonna check raise the flop. Maybe a set. Slow play duck or 6s somehow. 6s wouldn't call the flop. You know what I mean? Just hard. You got a Queen 10 maybe. Queen 10 of hearts will be in there for sure. Maybe duck and an Ace 6 I think. Anyways, we'll move on along. Hypnosis with that little bluff did not work out for him. Queen Jack for LaQuendon on the button. 9-9 for Chris in the big. Will 3-bet to 8 blinds and probably just takes the pot down pre. LaQuendon with the Queen Jack. Oh, has to let it go. And we're moving on along. 6-6 for Bowie. Again, like the 7s earlier, I think they're a little too deep to let this one go pre-flop. Gotta kind of come in for the open with the 6s. Playing just under 40 blinds deep. 2-2 for Hypnosis. Might go set mining. And Chris with Ace 3 suited in the small could think about a 3-bet. Could just call as well. Cover both players. I don't know if we fold. I don't think that happens. I think we at least call. Lane is in the big blind, so that might make us lean towards a 3-bet to kick him out. Lena calls with 8-5-0. They say I'm getting a great price covering everybody. Get a King Queen 9 flop and 6s are still best here. Bowie somehow goes for a quarter pot size bet and this should just take the pot down. Under pair to the board, deuces hit the muck, ace highs out of there, and 8-5 with the backdoor straight draw that would put us straight on the board. Finds the fold as well. Couple of 8s for Grozorg. 46 blinds will open it up. Chris with ace queen suited on the button. Very well could 3-bet here. They don't really want to face a 4-bet jam for 45 blinds if we're being honest. Oh my lord, ace 7. Ace 7 for Hypnosis, 3-bets. Ace queen suited, could always think about a fold. A 4-bet bluff is also possible. Calling is silly. This could get so spicy if Chris calls, though. Weird spot for ace queen suited. We haven't seen a hypnosis 3-bet bluff yet. Here comes the 4-bet. I don't think Großorg 5-bets. They're probably out of there. Small 4-bet. Großorg folds 8. I think ace 7 hits the muck. Hypnosis might go crazy and 5-bet bluff rip. I don't know if we get the call here. We put ourselves in a pickle. I like the 3-bet bluff and then the fold, as long as we don't go too spazzy and rip it in. Although it might have worked in this instance. Nice fold by Hypnosis. Like, I think ace queen suited is a bluff there. We don't want to face a 5-bet rip. Anyways, we'll move on along. Interesting hand that was. 10-10 for Großorg. Opening it up, ace queen suited for Chris once again. We'll just call this time. Lena with ace jack on the button. We'll 3-bet to 10.5. There's a world where Großorg rips, Chris folds. Lena might just fold to the 4-bet rip as well. We saw an ace being folded in the big blind, so if any one of these ace highs get after the bounty here, they're in trouble. Quite a few outs dead. Does Großorg just let go of 10s though? They're like, fuck man, I'm getting bullied here. $6,200 bounty on Großorg's head. We can offer it up. The 17.5 blinds in the middle would mean a lot to Großorg right now. They do find the jam very nicely done. I think ace jack just folds. Yeah. Nice play by Großorg. Taking the spot with 10-10, not being bullied too much. They're at about 60 blinds now. Ace queen suited for Efkinus comes in for the open under the gun. Jack 10 suited for numbers guy in the small. 40 blinds deep for him. Probably still calls here. 3-bet seems suicidal. Jack 7 2 flop. Backdoor royal flush draw. 2 overs for Efkinus. 6 blinds in the middle. I do like a big bet. Efkinus says we'll go small. Jack 10 suited finds the call, I would imagine. 6 of clubs brings in another flush draw, and Efkinus has it, you know. Look at those 2 clubs in their hand. 2 clubs in the board. That's a flush draw, dude. How exciting. Oh, we get a free river, the king of spades. A free stupid river. I don't think numbers guy block bets. Probably just, oh, we do block bet kind of 3 blinds. We still, oh, okay, so Jack X would just bet the turn. There's just a few King X that get there. Like 6s. There's no sets. Sets would bet the turn. Jack 10 is actually pretty good there. That's why I kind of figured check call. Let your opponent bluff if they want to, and if we're being honest, ace queen probably just shows it down. Interesting little lead there by the pair of jacks. Numbers guy with ace queen opens the button. Efkinus with the playable 6-7 in the big will find the call. 9-5-5 flop. Kind of feels like if numbers guy C bets here, he's gonna get check raised. They wisely check back the flop. 7 on the turn gives a pair to Efkinus. They lead out large 3.4. There is plenty of like straight draws like 10-8, Jack 10, some sort of 6x. Ace Queen could get curious. Numbers guy says I'm out of there. King for LeQuendon opens under the gun. That looks like Hypnosis folded a pocket pair of 6s. Bowie with Jack 7 suited probably doesn't play in this situation. Queen 10 hits the muck from the small. No action for Kings. LeQuendon with, or sorry, Großorg 9-5-0 and the big just folds. 7-7 for Chris. Looks like an open. 2 blinds is the size. Queen 10 for Großorg in the small. I don't know if we play this one. Efkinus with 6-5 is somehow still thinking about something. Eyes are just away from the screen most likely. Not too much doing here. Ace 9 for Grozorg on the button. King 7 suited for Lequendin. Not really going to 3-bet here. Grozorg covers us. Hypnosis in the big covers us. It is always fun to see 3-bets though. Oh, 3-bet comes in. What was I talking about? Lequendin says 8 blinds to go Grozorg with a wide opening range here. Does have a ace 9-0. Kind of a 4-betting hand if we're being honest. We don't really want to call. We expect our ace 9 could be good. Grozorg says we haven't seen this yet. I'm just going to find the fold. Nice play by Lequendin to take down a few pennies there with King 7 suited. Ace 9 doesn't want to get too sticky. 8-3 suited. Grozorg I don't think opens here. I've been wrong before, that's for sure. No, they do just find the fold. Chris gets a walk with 6 and a 3. 6-6 for Surfleman will open under the gun. King Queen suited for Hypnosis on the button. They'll find the call. Queen 8 for Lena. Oh, Efkinus with Queen 9 suited. They call. 42 blinds deep. Does King Queen suited want to go in for a raise here? No, we just call. 7-5-3 flop. Pair and straight draw is best for the time being. 8.5 blinds in the middle. Surfleman will just check the 6s. Got a bunch of overcards we're sweating here in this instance. Efkinus checks. Is King Queen a Hearts fire bet? No, I don't think so. 2 overs in the backdoor flush draw. Hypnosis says, yeah, I'm gonna do it anyways, dude. 2.5, super small. Fucking flies are back. Serve them in with the 6s. Surely we hang in there. We call. Queen 9 of spades will fold. King on the turn, bad card for Surfleman. Hypnosis does bang off one of the 2 overs. 13.5 blinds will slide their way providing there's no 6 or 4 on the river. Another king. If I'm Surfleman, I'm always curious about a call on the river here. But something in this instance makes me think block bet fold. Hypnosis bangs off, runner, king. Surely gonna go for a bet here. Something like 10. 10.5. Surfleman with those 6s says I block the straight. Some boats get there. Oh, like A7 suited? Do you try to bluff him off the pot somehow? What checks the turn that you beat? Some sort of like Ace 5 that wouldn't bet like this. Like Ace 3, would it turn itself into a bluff? No, just check, dude. 6s don't feel like a comfy call now that I'm thinking about it more and more. But something tells me bluff. Don't call bluff sometimes. Maybe we don't bluff right now, so we might just fold 6-6. Although, to be honest, if we call 6s, I wouldn't be surprised as well. Surfleman sitting here with 126 blinds. Nice fold, but by the 6s. Yeah, something about this situation just felt so shitty to call with 6-6 there. Like, I don't think there's much 8s and 9s, but like Hypnosis will have a sliver of that. I don't think much A7 suited. It's kind of a weird little flop bet. Like, you're kind of worried about some sort of like Jack 10, Queen Jack maybe. But then you're like, if you had a flush draw, you would have bet the turn on the King of Diamonds. Another king on the river. Would you really just go for a bluff ski with some sort of Jack 10 that picked up no equity and has no showdown value? Like, maybe. Just seems so ambitious to believe that's what's going on. 6-6 hits the muck. King Queen for Lequendin flops up here. Bets and takes the pot down, and we're moving on along. King 10 for Bowie. Suited and booted. We'll come in for the open under the gun. Lena with ace king. Probably not going to call this one. We still have serve limit in the hand, but we probably got a 3-bet here. Under the gun open. Lena says 7 blinds to go. I don't think we call king 10 suited. We could 4-bet bluff small, but that seems kind of silly. And we're not really going to make it like 15 blinds there. But we reasonably just folds king 10 and we're moving along again. 4-4 for Chris. Four. Hypnosis with an ace could open, I suppose. They say no 50 blinds. We'll just play some reasonable cards here today. King 6-0 in the big. I don't know if this is defend here. So we're 3 off the money. That's pretty important. Chips matter right now. King 6-0. A 3-bet. Whoa, I like it. Chris with a couple of 4s could think about a 4-bet jam. They don't really want to do it though. They haven't folded yet. Something in their heart is telling them to rip it in, but in the end, nice 3-bet by Bowie. Takes the pot down pre with a king and a 6, yo. 6-8 suited for Chris. We'll see if they come in for the open. Efkiness in the big blind. Serve them in from the cutoff. Chris says this is a spicy situation. I'll fold. Jack 9 suited for Lena, however. They'll open from the hijack. Looks like the raise will get through pre. Although Efkiness has a lot of chips and a 5 and a 4. A little bit of playability covering Lena for about an $8,500 bounty. Efkiness thinks about it, finds the call and a pair of 5s. Queen 5-3 flop, 1 club for Lena with the backdoor straight draw and 2 overs to the pair of 5s. Lena bets small, will get a call by the 5, backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. Check raise, what the fuck? Middle pair. A little bit of backdoor equity. We check raise, get jack high out of there. Like, yeah, it works. It works. King 8 suited for Chris. No, we're not going to play that one here. Serve them in, dealt some bullshit, has to fold. King 2 for Efkiness in the small. Gonna limp it in. We're playing about 44 or 54 blinds deep, sorry. Ace 7 Grozorg checks it back pre, finds top pair. Ace Queen Jack flop, that's a straight draw for Efkiness. Half pot size bet by Grozorg. See, a check raise looks cool here, blocking the nuts. Efkiness says call. 6 1/4 blinds in the middle. There's some like 9-10 straight draws, 10-8 maybe. I'm thinking Efkiness is ahead of, but it's like, God, that's going to be difficult to hang in there on the turn as we face a pot-sized bet. So if our opponent had one of those shitty little straight draws that we're ahead of, kind of just have to fold. Our opponent had top pair, so what the fuck does that matter? Efkiness doesn't bloat no pot with a straight draw and the nut blocker. Ace 4 suited for Chris will open under the gun +1 Jack Jack for Lena. They just find the call once again with a strong hand. Ace 10-0 for serve Lamin. Could have thought about a 3-bet. They kinda did. 3-3 for Bowie is thinking call. King Queen suited for Efkiness, covering them all. Will come in for a 3-bet maybe. Make it like 11.5 blinds or something. Maybe a little smaller, 10.5. All in is the size, 60 some blinds deep. King Queen suited. Saw a couple of 3s being folded. Lena gets it in here. We're flipping for Lena's life. A queen on the flop. What the fuck? A jack on the turn. Lena's got the effective nuts, dude. It's got the board locked up. 10-9 made it straight, so not the effective nuts, but whatever. Lena gets there. 106 blinds for Lena. That queen on the flop. I was gonna say he's running like shit. What a play by Efkinus with the king queen suited. 60 some blinds, rips it in. Biggest flip in the world. Looks like blinds went up there. Queen 7 suited. Servleman gets after it. Now that they're in second place, they open it up and take it down pre. Lena in first place, 106 blinds. Holy shit, we'll see some action here. Ace 6 for Hypnosis. They limp it on in. Chris with an ace and a 9 in the big blind. They raised a 3.5, covering Hypnosis. Chris with the better ace. Hypnosis 3 bets. What does ace 9 do? We cover him for a 9k bounty. If we 4-bet rip, it's kind of a bluff. Do we ever call? Play in position? We do. Jack 9 6 flop, or sorry, Jack 9 7. Jack 9 7. Hypnosis doesn't have a real good hand here. Their backdoor straight draw 8-10 would put us straight on the board. They do have 8-5 for a backdoor straight draw. Pair of 9s for Chris. My lord, this fucking fly. Anyways, flop goes check check. 10 of diamonds on the turn. A 1-liner to an 8. King queen makes a straight and diamonds get there. Hypnosis isn't bluffing here with ace 6, no diamond. 23 blinds in the middle. Tough spot for Chris. Holy shit, dude. This fly. Whoa, we wah. Check check on the turn. King on the river. 23 blinds in the middle. 1-liner to a queen. So ace king wouldn't bet for value. 4.65 blinds into 23. What do we do with ace 9? We got the pair. We got the best hand. It's super small bet. We just feel like we're getting milked. This could totally be ace king. Big bet pre. King queen. I think would have bet the turn. Nice call by Chris just with a pair of 9s. Hypnosis gets owned there. Huge pot slides over to Chris. Tons of momentum in their favor now. They're in third place, about 69 blinds. Ace king for Bowie opens and Chris gets out of there with ace 10 from the small. I was thinking we could 3-bet bluff, fold to the 4-bet jam. Chris says don't even throw away any chips in this instance. Bowie will take it down pre. Ace jack suited for Efkinus and Chris gets rewarded. King king from the button. Ace jack suited for Efkinus. $6,200 bounty on their head. Efkinus min raises. I think Efkinus jams over the 3-bet here. We got Lena folding an ace. A few spades not being possible as well. Chris makes it like 7 blinds to go. No, we go smaller, 5.5. Does Efkinus call? How spicy, dude. Efkinus calls jack, or sorry, what the hell? 9-3 2 flop. 1 spade. Sure as shit, there's no jack out there. Efkinus backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw, 1 overcard. That is clean. Chris bets real small, 3.4 into 13.5. Ace jack just hits the muck. No more action for the kings. Small 3-bet pre gets paid off, but that's about it. Good job by Efkinus not to blow up their stack too hard. Just a big 60 blind jam with king queen suited. 4-4 for LeQuendon. 8-8 for numbers guy in the big blind. We get a 10-9-4 flop. Backdoor straight and flush draw for numbers guy. Probably has to pay off a bet here versus bottom set. No, Eats just say fuck it, I'm out of there. Bottom set is good. Numbers guy moves along with 30 blinds. They still got a huge bounty on their head. 9-7 suited in the small. Might just fold the numbers guy who limps. Bowie with 3-3. 30 blinds deep. Weird spot. Jack 4 for Servleman. Jack 4 opens the button. Kind of flipping here against 3s. Bowie with about 37 blinds just rips it in, and we'll take it down pre. The Jack 4 open gets punished. Hypnosis with Ace King suited. Doesn't look like they're going to get too much action here. They even limp it in, forcing Efkinus to see a flop with 7-6. Serve them in with the big ass stack, 7-5. Oh, not going to come along. Jack 10 for numbers guy covers Hypnosis for a 9k bounty, so they come in for a call. Jack 10-0 on the button. 7-6 in the big, checks it on, back again, an Ace Jack 3 flop. Bunch of diamonds out there, dude. Ace King will check. Jack 10 with middle pair, bets 1 blind. Efkinus with the only flush draw. Really stupid spot for 7 high and a flush draw. You just fold. Ace King calls. We get a king on the turn, completing what would have been Efkinus's flush. Does Jack 10 turn itself into a bluff? Kinda so. I don't know if it's going to work out here. We bet really small. We don't size up a river jam. Ace King calls once again. 7 on the river. 12 in the middle, about 20 behind. Yikes. Do we ever bet like 8 blinds, try to get an ace to fold? Do we rip to apply max pressure? It's about 8 blinds. 7 3/4. Make it look like a value bet. Do 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 do. 2 pairs for Hypnosis. Says, do you have a diamond? If you do, I lose, and if you don't, I win. Like Queen 10 doesn't bet the river. Jack Jack won't bet the river. Jack Jack would have probably 2 bet pre. Is there ever like 3-3? I don't know if it bets the river. Nice bluff by numbers guy. Ace King 2 pairs. Hits the muck. If we're being honest there, if Hypnosis opened pre to 2 blinds, Jack 10 probably would have folded. Would have saw a flop with 7-6 maybe. 7-6 would have checked back, called the flop. Maybe we lose to a flush that way. Maybe Efkinus just folds the flop with the 7 high flush draw. Anyways, there's other worlds we could have saw, but we will continue in the timeline that we did. What the fuck is he talking about? Ace 4 for Bowie will see top pair and bet and take the pot down. Ace 7 for Hypnosis. Do we limp it on in again? What do we do now, dude? No, we're just gonna fold under the gun. The Quindon with a couple of 5s in the big. Jack 8 suited for Efkinus. Oh, King Queen for numbers guy. They come in for the open. Efkinus is out of there. LeQuindon with a couple 5s. Probably doesn't 3-bet jam pre. 37.5 blinds deep. There's a 12k bounty. LeQuindon says, I'm gonna do it, dude. I'm gonna do it. $12,000. Yes, sirree. Rips it on in. Takes it down pre. 10-10. Chris will open under the gun. Queen Jack for Hypnosis in the big blind. Do. Feels like a call. Ace eat 5 flop. Not the best board for 10s, but I think we c-bet, take the pot down a lot. Nice small bet by Chris, and Queen Jack folds. Another King for Chris in the big blind this time. Serve them in with Queen 9 suited. Might open under the gun. Ooh, they limp it in. Limp it in, okay. Hypnosis with Ace 5. We'll think about a call. They find it. King will raise. How big do we go? Personally, versus limps, I like a 6 blind raise, depending on the situation. So like with Hypnosis with 16 blinds, we might change our sizing. Do we make it like 4.5 because Hypnosis is off 17 blinds? No, we go big. Fucking fly, dude. Chris goes 9.5 blinds. I think this just goes fold. 9.5 blinds. Hard to hang in there with Ace 5. I thought size down because we want to keep Hypnosis in the pot. Chris says go huge, make it look like a bluff. Like, I wonder what 7-7 does in Hypnosis shoes facing the limp under the gun. Do we call from the small? Do we rip it in for about 16, 17 blinds? So if you like, if they just rip from the small, you can take away some of the pocket pairs, and then you're looking at a whole bunch of random bullshit that won't call facing your big raise. So I'm thinking that's why Chris should maybe size down. Chris says maybe 7s just call from the small, maybe like 8s call from the small. Some sort of 7s through deuces maybe just call from the small. Maybe they're willing to get it in pre-flop if you go for a huge raise. I think that's what Chris is alluding to with the big raise pre with the kings. Fucking flies on the microphone. I've got a pretty big room over here and the fly is just bugging me. Anyways, we got a king queen 6 flop diamond draw for Lena. Jack high holds up for Chris though. Wait, we're both playing the board. Double paired board, king 6s with the queen kicker. Lena might bluff. Playing the board, and Chris can't really call. Playing the board. Lena bets half. Chris says that's small. Maybe I call. Playing the board. Chop it on up. Chris says no. We fold and move along. Nice little steal by Lena, I do suppose. Preserve that first place position. Jack 3 for hypnosis. I don't know why I thought they were playing that. King 7 for Chris. Not going to play. Facing the 2 big stacks in the blinds. Lena will limp 10-7-0. Queen 4 for Serve Lamin. Forced to see a flop. Kind of a shitty situation to raise. Serve Lamin says, I'm going to do it anyways. Isn't this just shitty, dude? We don't really want to blow the pot. Just the biggest stack. With some shitty old Queen 4. Sir Flamin checks back. Pre-ace, ace, king flop. The reason why we would raise, I suppose, is because we do benefit just from kicking some hands out pre-flop. Like some sort of 10-7-0. If it just folds to our raise pre-flop, we're winning. We're okay with that. Whereas our queen high, we might just check it down to the river, and a little 10-7 might go for a bluff ski completing when the flush completes. No, 10-7's gonna check it down. Queen 4 gets showdown and wins a little pot. I guess that's why we check it down, because sometimes we just win. 7-7 for Lena on the button. Kind of expected Lena to bluff that last hand, if we're being honest. They feel like maybe they're not getting too much to fold. Anyway, 7-7. Opens it up. 6-9 suited, 3 bets to 11 blinds? Riddle me this one here. Serve Lamin says, I'm going to 3-bet big with the 6-9 meme hand. 7's call. Ace, ace, 5 flop with a flush draw for Serve Lamin. This is ridiculous. We're playing like 105 blinds deep. 24 in the middle, flush draw versus a pocket pair. I think we get a bet and a call. We're off to the turn. 6 blinds is the size. Stupid spot for 7-7, but I think we have to call. Nine of diamonds on the, or sorry, 9 of spades. That gives Lane, oh my lord, I'm tripping over all my words here. Serve Lamin makes a pair. Lena with 2 outs to the 7s. 36 blinds in the middle. 7s with a sliver of showdown value. You would expect a lot more broadways to be bluffing instead of some sort of 6 and a 9. That 3-bet pre 6-9 suited gets rewarded. 3 of clubs on the river. Little pair of 9s. They do play the 6 kicker. Aces 9s with a 6 kicker just goes check check, and we're moving along. Would be a nice little value bet by Surf Them in here. Just trying to get called by like 8s, 7s, 6s. I don't know. They go for about a 10% pot bet. Lena with the pocket pair finds the call, sees the bad news. 6-9 suited Surf Lamin. That was kind of disrespectful versus Lena. Queen for hypnosis. They had about 16 blinds, a little bit less than that. A 9k bounty on their head. They just open rip. Bowie's gonna think about a call here with King Queen and the big Serve Lamin. big stack with ace 5. Probably doesn't just want to call. If we're going to play the hand, we're going to rip. Otherwise, I think we just fold. Calling seems pretty disastrous. There's so many pocket pairs that just rip. You'd expect a lot of like not even 10s, like 9s through the lower shit. But king queen finds top pair. No queen for hypnosis, went out. Queens are no good. Big bounty for Bowie has 9k. Takes down about a 30 blind pot to boot. Keeps him in a very comfy position with 60 blinds. 4th place. We finally lose a body. We're down to 8-2 away from the money. Lena with a raise and take it down pre. Gets a queen jack facing Chris open. Lena quickly folds. Bowie with ace ace on the button here. 60 blinds. $8,200 bounty on their head now. King 6 suited is a spicy hand. It's not ace king, but it's the new ace king. It's suited. We face a 3-bet. I think a 4-bet can come in here. Don't have to go too big. Something like 16, 16 and a half. Fold to the 5-bet rip. Aces might call facing our 4-bet. Chris says, fuck all of that noise, dude. Fuck all of that. We're just going to fold the king 6 suited. That is no ace king. No matter what I tell myself, king 6 suited will never be ace king. 9-9 for serve them in. They open it up off the big stack and we'll take it down pre. Queen 9 suited for serve them in. 33 for Bowie. Jack 7 suited for Chris in the big blind. Might go 3 ways to a flop here. Do. Chris in the big, closing the action. Jack 7 suited, looks like a call. King 7 flop. Chris does flop the best of it. Serve them in with a couple overcards to the pair 7s. Backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw with the pre-flop aggressive lead. Could take a stab on the flop. 3s would hit the muck. Serve them in says, no, I'm gonna check. Bowie with 3s trying to clean up some equity. Goes for a 2 blind bet. Chris is in a weird spot with the pair 7s. They still got serve them in behind them, who would check any king here. Chris feels a lot better about the situation once serve them in folds. And Bowie could still have a king. I don't know if they're gonna have a whole lot of like ace 7 suited. That might just fold the serve lemons open. So you'd expect more pocket pairs. Maybe some suited broadways. Bowie goes for a 14 blind bet. Chris picks up the flush draw. 14 blinds into 11 and a half. Oof. We do have the best hand. We're sweating 2 outs. Chris finds the call. 10 on the river. Both players' pairs counterfeit. Jack high is best though. Bowie plays the board. If Chris block bets, a Bowie bluff would be amazing. Chris goes in the tank. Block bets 5 blinds. Do it, Bowie. 0 showdown value. 3-3. You ripper fold. Bowie says 3-3 no good. I'll just let this one go. Very interesting hand there. 7s get counterfeit on the river. Jack high block bets. Takes the pot down. It's a big one for Chris. Puts him in second place, covering Lena now. They can limp it on in from the small, raise it up pre, do whatever the fuck you want. Chris limps, faces the 4 blind raise. 6-4 might hit the muck, even though they dominate. Lena's 5-4 suited here. Lena will take that one down and we're moving along. Jack 9 suited for Grozorg. We'll open it up off 40. They are opening it up into the big stacks. Dangerous. The raise looks like I might get through pre unless Servleman gets sticky with a 9 and a 5. Looking for 3-5s, a little 8-7-6 action. Servleman does find the call. We get a king, queen, 8 flop. Nothing here for Servleman at all. A straight draw to the 10 for Grozorg. They go for a c-bet 1.5 and take the pot down.
Hey, Brandon.
Yeah.
Are you? I was gonna show you some Saskatoon wrestling.
Sorry, I'm busy. King Jack for Grozorg. They open it up. Eight-5 suited for numbers guy in the big blind. If gets the opportunity to, we'll find the call, I think. Servleman with the a6 fold in the small. We get a 10-9 3 flop. Grozorg 2 overs and a straight draw. We'll c-bet and take the pot down. A7 for Bowie. Queen 5 suited for Chris. Don't know why I feel like they're going to play it. They aren't. King 3 suited for Lena, though, will open from the cutoff. Bowie in the big. We'll find the call. Let's see a flop and we'll go from there. King Jack 8 flop. No clubs here for Bowie. A backdoor straight draw 2. We'll see a big c-bet. Quickly find the fold. Jack for Lena. This time it's no good, dude. Queen for Servleman. 1 seat to his left. Afghanis with a jack in the big. Gonna find the fold. Servleman will 3-bet here. We're playing 90 blinds deep. First place versus third place. Queen's call pre. 10-7 2 flop. That's a good board for jacks. Backdoor straight draw. Backdoor flush draw. Over card or over pair. We bet about a third pot. Queen can raise at any point. $8,400 bounty on Lena's head. 5 on the turn is pretty clean. 11.5 blinds in the middle. If Lena goes for an overbet, we might get this all in at some point. If they don't, I think we'll avoid the all in situation. They bet 8 into a pot. What will be about 28 if there's a call. Oh, we could still see a raise on the turn here. Like if Servleman just calls, Lena bets, I don't think they're gonna. Yeah, ace on the river. Does this go check? 27 blinds in the middle. We could have saw a whole lot more in there. Lena might block bet. Try to get called by a 10. Some sort of 9s, 8s. Lena checks it over. Servleman could always bet small too. Lena won't check raise jam. That wouldn't make any sense. Servleman won't overbet jam. 3x the pot here. Lena's okay. River just goes check and 27 blinds slide over to Servleman. Blinds go up. The whole table is like, what the fuck? Why wasn't there more pennies in the middle there? Ace 9 suited for Chris. They'll open it up and we're going from there. Jack 9 for Grozorg. Oh! That does not matter. We got ace king for numbers guy, 25 blinds. We'll think about a 3-bet rip again. That's what they elect to do. 12.5k bounty on their head. Ace 9 suited. Not a good spot for Chris. They're just moving along. Ace 10 for Servleman. Ace 6 suited for numbers guy and Bowie. Servleman opens. 2 blinds to go. A6 suited for Bowie. Might find the call. They say no, we're just gonna fold. Quendon with 8-6 in the big will also let that shit go. Servleman will get 1 through pretty. Chris with an ace and a 6 in the big blind. We'll see if there's any action here. Not too much being dealt to the players. 9-7 for Quendon in the small says I'm not even gonna play that, dude. King 7 for Lena in the big blind. Ace Queen for Grozorg is suited. We get a Servleman open under the gun with Queen Jack. Ace queen suited finds the call. King 7 for Lena is in a stupid spot. They say I'm just folding, dude. 10-6-2 flop. Serve them in with 2 overs. One of them is no good. Backdoor straight draw. No diamond in their hand. Thinking, do I c-bet? I go in the tank here. I like a big c-bet, to be honest. Ace queen suited with a backdoor flush draw. Oof, I wasn't thinking this big. Overbet the pot, 8 blinds into 6.5. What does ace queen suited do? I was thinking facing like a 4 blind bet, ace queen suited might still find the call. Ace queen gets sticky, dude. 8 blind bet on the flop. 3 of clubs on the turn brings in the nut flush draw with 2 overs. Ace high is best. Sweating 2 outs to the river. Serve them in, gives up the bluff. Serve them in, gives it up. Grozarg bets small and takes the pot down. Interesting little hand there. Jack for Bowie. Jack for Bowie. A raise and take it down pre. It looks like Chris with 8-6 suited on the button. Probably not a play. Do. Chris says, fuck it, dude. I'm playing. I got 80 blinds. Bowie's got an $8,200 bounty on their head. We get a king 5-4 flop, 1 heart. Straight draw to the 7 for Chris. Bowie with the jack in the jack can c-bet. They can check. They elect to check. Lots of draws out there. Chris with one of them. Bowie says, I'm going to go for the check call, dude. Face a small bet here. 1.8 blinds. We're off to the turn with a call. Jack on the turn. Clean card for Bowie. 8 high versus middle or second set, sorry. Let's see if Chris goes for a big bet. He could just give up the bluff. They say no. I got the big heart in me. Fires an 8 blind bet. Sizing up the river jam. Nice call by Bowie. Front door flush gets there. Oh, there's only 1 flush draw. So there's the flush draw gets there. 6-7 makes it straight. Chris makes a pair of 8s. 26 blinds in the middle. Chris rips. They're gonna see the bad news. Chris says, I know that. Shows down the pair of 8s. It's no good. Bowie does take down a big pot. 50 blinds for him. And we see the stacks kind of establishing themselves. Serve them in first place with a big stack. Chris in second. Lena in third. Bowie with 50 blinds. Oh, sorry, Grozarg's fourth. Grozarg with 51 blinds in fourth. Bowie with 50. And we got our 30 blind stacks and Efkinis the shorty. So there's a whole fuck ton of pressure on the Quendon and numbers guy here. Ace queen versus queen jack suited. 12k bounty on the line. Numbers guy rips it in denying Quendon the chance to see a flop. Unless he wants to call for the 12k bounty with 30%. Looking for a jack or some hearts. A little king 10-9 action. A little ace king 10 action. Quendon's doing math here. Says there's a lot of pocket pairs, dude. Lots of pocket pairs. Numbers guy with the jam will take it down pre. Not much doing here. King 2 suited. Lena not even gonna open from the cutoff. 6-3 for serve Lemon. First place position. No. Jack 4. Oh, we open, but this one we let it go. Queen 7 for numbers guy in the small. 30 some blinds deep. They limp it in. Bowie with 8-5 suited in the big blind. 9-8-4 flop. All clubs. Neither player with a club. Bowie with middle pair. Numbers guy checks it over. Middle pair of eights might bet a blind. Says we're off to the turn instead. 3 of clubs, 4 clubs out there. No equity picked up for numbers guy. They're looking for a queen that's a non-club. But a club would just be a chop pot. Pair of eights. Do we bet a blind? No, we're off to the river. The 9 of spades. So no chop pot. 3 in the middle. Pair of eights checks it down. Does get a bluff out of numbers guy here. Bet slightly over half pot. Pair of eights calls. Good news for Bowie. They see the good news. 6 blinds slide their way. Ace queen for Grozorg and Efkinus in the big blind. 3-3 for Lena. Man, it's very unlikely, but 3's call. Ace queen rips from the big blind. Ace queen suited 4 bet jams. Isolates the pot. 3's probably don't call, but if they do, they're looking pretty. Efkinus with ace queen, gonna rip it in. It's about 12,500 bucks in bounties for Lena here if they find the call with over 50% 3 ways. They're looking great. I think there's a queen folded. I don't know if there was an ace folded. Ace queen suited isolates. Oh, both ace queens make the nuts. Nice fold by Lena. Fuck whatever I was talking about. Oof. 3-3 would have got it in. Great. But we're moving on along. Efkinus and Grozorg trap the pot. Chris with ace 9. Opens under the gun +1. Grozorg with ace 4 suited in the big blind. Could always 3-bet, but this is kind of a nasty spot to do it, so they just find the call. Queen 7-4 flop. 1 heart for Grozorg with the bottom pair. We'll see a c-bet and quickly find the call. We're off to the turn. If it's a 9, that's cool for Chris. Otherwise, that's not cool for Chris. Queen on the turn, that's not cool for Chris. No siree. 8 1/4 blinds in the middle. We could always try to rep the queen. Try to get our opponent to fold some sort of 6s through deuces. Obviously not 4s, but the other pocket pairs. There's the bet by Chris, 6.2. We'll see if the 4 hangs in there. This looks like a value bet. Smells like a value bet. Kind of tastes like a value bet. Grozorg with the 4. That ace of hearts doesn't mean much in this instance. Nice call by the ace 4, 6 on the river. Ace 9 doesn't have a great reason to bluff. In this instance, Chris has a great reason to bluff. Put a lot of pressure on Grozorg's, what was 4th place position or something. In the end, Chris will check down ace 9 and ace 4 after hanging in there. Sees the good news. Nice play by Grozorg. They're up to 63 blinds. They cover Chris now and Bowie. Even though I think they covered Bowie before that hand. Serve them in. Will open whatever they had and take it down pre. Ace 10 for Chris in the big blind. Serve them in with king 9 once again. What did I say once again for? I didn't know they had king 9. King 9. Serve them in. Opens it up. Ace 10 for Chris. Let's just call pre-flop. I like a 3-bet bluff sometimes, but this situation I think it's too spicy. We're not even in the money yet. We cover so many players. We get 1st place position, opening it up under the gun +1. Ace 10 just calls pre. Sees an 8-5-4 flop. 2 overs, backdoor flush draw. Backdoor straight flush draw even for Chris. They see a hefty c-bet, 4 blinds into 5.5 by the king and the 9. Not easy for Chris. Kind of feels like we have to call, but if we're being honest, we fold a lot. Because we're kind of scared. Chris lets it go. We're moving along. Jack-Jack for Efkinus. Queen-Jack for Surf Lemon. Getting open under the gun and a 3-bet jam. Wait, a ace 4 suited for Bowie. Do we call? 52 blinds deep. Surf Lemon's getting after it. A 3-bet comes into 7 blinds. Efkinus, $6,200 bounty on their head. Still gonna rip it in here. 4-bet jam for 15. Quentin with ace 10 probably folds. There's the 4-bet. I suppose it's non-all in, but 3 blinds behind. Efkinus is gonna get this in. Bowie looking for an ace or some clubs. A jack now works, but not an ace. 8 on the river and 8 on the turn. Jacks hold up. 30 some blinds for Efkinus, just behind Bowie now, just ahead of LeQuendon and Numbers Guy. So we lost our shorty situation. So now we got our 4 bigger stacks and 4 shorter stacks. That's easy to talk out. Ooh, Jack 10 suited. Opens it up, laying the 3 bets. Ace King from the small, 9.5 blinds to go. Serve them in with Ace King in the big. Going to 4-bet small. Do we have a rip? It's so big, it's like 63 blinds, 62. We do come in for a non-all-in 4-bet. Chris with Jack 10 suited will get out of there. There's a world where Lena folds, but if we're being honest, they're probably just going to offer up their bounty, rip it in. We chop it up often here. Get the jam and the call, and some clubs would work for Lena, but we don't get that. 5 on the turn. Both players make 3 of a kind. Chop, chop. And it looks like we get a break. My computer's going mad here, dude. She's just screaming at me. Ace 2 for Chris. Ace 10 for serve limit in the small blind. Chris opens it up from the cutoff. 3-bet could come in here. Serve limit just calls. Jack 8, 2 flop. Bottom pair for Chris. We'll see how they proceed with 6 blinds in the middle facing first place position. I think a c-bet and take it down is appealing, but we don't want to get check raised off the pot. We don't want to bloat it really with a pair of 2s. Chris reasonably checks it back, 8 on the turn. Mm-hmm. 10 of clubs for serve limit. I wonder if they think anything about that. Blocking some straight draws. You would have expected those to c-bet the flop. What's gonna bet on the 8 turn? 3 of a kind. Apparently a pair of 2s. Maybe a diamond draw. Serve limit check raises the turn with the ace of diamonds. Says I'm blocking some stuff that's gonna call here. And a pair of 2s hits the muck. Nice play by serve limit, putting all the pressure on Chris. They should not have opened up the pot. That's why you check back the flop. You're like, I don't want to get bloated off the pot. No sirree. Somehow ace 10 check raises you. Huge, and you have to fold. What a damn shame for Chris. Just a damn shame. Queen 10 for serve limit will open the button. 9-10 for Bowie. Bowie calls the big king 7-5 flop. Serve limit, checking it back. Somehow a 9 on the turn. Bowie makes a pair. Serve them in with a straight draw to the jack. 5 blinds in the middle. Kind of would have expected serve them in to c-bet the flop here. Queen 10. Doesn't have a club. Says I got some backdoor straight draws. Maybe I can bluff on a later straight. Such as on the 9 turn. Serve them in, bets 3 blinds. Do we get a 9 to fold? Maybe not on the turn. Maybe on the river if we go for a hefty bet. 4 of spades. 6-8 was already a straight, so like 6-3 of clubs gets there. That's about it. Fair card for serve limit to fire up bluff if we're being honest. Some sort of 9-9 would check back the flop. Maybe like, I don't know, man, 9-7? Fuck me. Kind of a stupid spot for serve limit who reasonably just gives up the bluff. Kind of just felt like you were never winning with Queen 10, so you might have to fire a barrel, but serve limit says no, no. We put in our bet on the turn, and that's all I'm gonna do. Jack 7 for numbers guy on the button, thinking about an open covered by both players. We'll think better of it and fold. 10-6 for Bowie, limping it in. 9-10 for F. Guinness in the big blind. Limp check pre-flop, ace, ace, jack. Actually, a lot of chop pots here. 3 blinds in the middle. 10 high versus 10 high. Pretty boring shit. 3 on the turn. Well, we're playing our kickers here. Any card above a 6. And we chop it up unless it's a 9. A 3 is a chop pot. Somebody could bluff, I suppose. King on the river. Ace, ace, king, jack 10. We're chopping it up unless somebody bluffs. Both players block queen 10, which got there. I'm kind of thinking about some KFC chicken right now. Oh, it's gross. It's disgusting. What a gross thought. Get that nonsense out of your head. Anyways, both players check it down. And we chop it up. Queen, jack for Chris will come in for the open off 50 blinds. Little jack 4 for serve Lemon once again. Won't come along. King 10 for F. Guinness. Don't think we do much here off 35. Just let that go. King 10 oh, a super unappealing hand to be honest. Ace queen for LeQuendon in the big blind. Queen 9 suited for F. Guinness on the button. 35 blinds for him. Comes in for the open. LeQuendon with 29 can rip it in pre. Small 3 bet is spicy. They just take the jam. Take it down. I think you're going to get yourself into too much trouble if you come in for a non-all-in 3 bet there. LeQuendon says, yeah, just rip it in. Offer up our bounty. Take the pot down and we're moving on along. Queen, queen for numbers guy. Looks like an open. Chris might defend the big. A7 suited for Grozorg. Could do something. Probably not, though. They find the call. Okay. 3 ways to a flop. 3 ways to the jack 5-2 flop. 1 diamond for Grozorg. Backdoor straight and flush draws for Chris. Over pair. For numbers guy is best. They're going to check. Interesting play here. Grozorg 7.5 blinds in the middle will go for a bet. 1.88. Queen, queen with the backdoor flush draw. How tricky are we gonna get? Oh, we're gonna check raise the flop. Not too tricky. Get a small bet out of Grozorg, I do suppose, who might have just folded facing our raise if we took the C betting spot. A7 folds and we're moving along. 3-3 for serve Lemon. Ace king for numbers guy. Grozorg with jack jack. I don't see many aces and kings being folded. LeQuendon with 1. Numbers guy might rip it in here. Grozorg might isolate for the 12k bounty. Get a non-all-in 3 bet to 7 blinds. Grozorg 4 bets. Don't think we fold here. I retire. Grozorg lets go of jacks. Serve Lemon with a 3 and a 3. Might 4 bet rip. 12k bounty on the line. Oh, how cheesed Grozorg's gonna feel if 3s hold up. Ace king gets it in. A 3 on the flop. Grozorg's less cheesed. King on the turn. That doesn't matter. Grozorg would have got 3rd place. Grozorg wasn't winning the flip versus ace king. Great fold by jacks. 3s make a set and take down the huge bounty. And a sizable pot too. We're down to 7 players. 1 more to the money. Until then, I guess Serve Lemon's just gonna run the show. Ace 2 suited for Grozorg. Ace jack for Chris. Jack, Jack hits the muck, facing the under the gun open and a 3-bet under the gun +1. Oh my. Grozorg says, I'm getting bullied this final table. Right from the get-go, had to fold a couple of 8s early on, then they 4-bet rip 10-10. Got it through after facing like a Lena 3-bet with ace-jack. Another ace-jack 3-betting. This time it's Chris from the hijack. Ace-2 suited's thinking about a 4-bet bluff. Non-all-in 4-bet bluff, something like 15.5, maybe a little bigger. Now Grosark says, fuck it, we'll just play reasonably. I'm folding jacks. Not gonna start 4-bet bluffing ace-2. Queen 10 for Chris. Queen 10 opens. Where are we, the hijack? Surf Lemon with a jack and a reg 80 card. Finds the fold. Ace-3 suited for Bowie in the small. We'll think about a call. Efkiness in the big with jack 5 suited. Chris isn't afraid of a 3-bet here. They find it 9 blinds to go. Probably just gets the job done. Queen 10 fold and we're moving on along. There we go. Ace Jack for Lena, 7-7 for Efkiness. With 30 blinds, we'll see what the hell happens here. Lena opens to 2.2. 7-7 for Efkiness. Don't think we really want a 3-bet jam, right? Weird spot for 7s. We don't want a 3-bet non-all in. Do we just call? Some players will fold even. Yeah, fold. Fold comes in. 7s hit the muck. Queen Jack will defend the big blind. We get an ace-5 4-flop. Might just go check, bet, fold. No, check, check, queen on the turn. Grozarg with the toppest of pairs, checks it on over. Lena with a flush draw blocker. Says we're off to the river for free with a little bit of showdown value with the ace high. 4 on that river card. Pairs the board. Grozarg value bets full pot. Lena with ace jack thinks about a call. Do 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 do. Ace and a jack, finding the fold. Nice fold by Lena. Ace high, I can always get curious. Lena says, no, chips mean a lot right now. We're just gonna fold. Blinds go up and Chris gets queens. Efkiness with the ace jack. Ace 5 for Surf Lemon will 3-bet. Ace jack hits the muck. Chris with those queens is in a spicy situation here. I think we call. We'll see a flop. We'll see a flop here, dude. A 4-bet is cool too, but we probably just take the pot down. Let's call, Chris. Let's see a flop. 3 cards dealer. No, Chris rips it in and takes it down pre. That's a big jam. Queen, queen, super strong hand. Makes plenty of sense, but Surf Lemon's going to be 3-betting us a lot there, so I wanted to see 3 cards real bad. King 10 for Bowie will open it up. Grozarg with 9-10 suited. From the button finds the call. Ace King for LeQuentin can rip from the small blind. 26 blinds effective. Jamming it in. King 10 folds, but 9-10 suited can think about a call. Probably folds though. Yeah, we're just going to let that one go, but we do see they had about 40% once it folded back to him. You should have 2 live cards and potentially a flush draw, straight draw potentials, but other than that, this situation's probably pretty shitty for 9-10 to be going bounty hunting for a small $3,700 bounty. King for Bowie. We'll open it up flop top set. Pair of threes for Lena. We'll get a free turn. No, they don't. Bowie bets top set. Lena calls with the 3, 2 of clubs on the turn. Flush draw gets there and Bowie makes a boat. The best boat possible. Loses to 2-2 and that's it. Lena leads. Goes for a little blockish bet here, 2.66. I think top boat just calls. See if 4 of hearts on the river. 13 blinds in the middle. Does Lena fire a bluff? We could just check fold even. Checks it on over. Ace 5 made a straight. 5-6 made a straight, but Bowie's not going to have that. Flush got there. There's some boat potentials. Bowie is in a weird spot with 31 blinds and 13 in the middle. Might bet like 9.5, maybe 10. We could just go huge. Bowie says a little bit smaller, actually 8.5. Give him some room to bluff if he wants to throw in a check raise. Well, Lane, it's not going to work in this instance, and you'll be in last place if you do it. Lena goes in the tank. For being honest, it feels like it's going to happen. Check raise jam. Nice fold by Lena. But we can't call with much there. Like, if aces value bet the river without a club, they face a check raise jam. Oof, that's a tough spot. Anyways, Bowie with the boat. They bet, don't face the jam. They just get the bet through, take down a sizable pot. Ace King suited for Efkinus. Lena with Ace Jack suited will be in a weird 140. Whoa, Efkinus pretty well rips for about 25. $6,200 bounty on the line. Ace King suited pretty well open rips. Lena can't really call here. You have to jam or fold. Ace Jack suited, super strong. 1 off the money. I got no idea what to do here. I typically get it in, but you see the bad news so often. You tell yourself it makes no sense just to open rip with the Ace King about 26, 25 blinds or whatever it was. So then you're like, well, does he have Ace Queen? Maybe he's got what? Some sort of pocket pair. Like King Queen suited isn't just going to open rip. But then you're like, what the fuck do you even have, man? Ace Jack suited. I'm sweating over the spot, but Lena says I'm out of there. Finds the fold. Ace King gets no value. Queen 4, surf them in, limps it in. Ace 7 for Bowie. Sees a King Queen 10 flop. Overcard and straight draw for Bowie. Surf them in with that middle pair. Hey, check it on over. Bowie checks it back. 8 on the turn. Brings in a flush draw. Serve them in, checks over the second pair once again. I don't know if this is a spot where Ace High is thinking about a hero call on the river. Once there's a whole bunch of straight potentials, flush potentials, 9 of hearts on the river. Yeah, Ace 7 has no reason to hang in there. Serve them in with Queen 4, 4 of hearts, doesn't even value bet. Could bet 1 blind, but like his King, there's no King X. There's maybe Jack X. Maybe some Jack X that you can get called by the little flush. Serve them in, says let's find out. Bets real small, takes the pot down. 3-2 suited, serve them in, opens the button here. Yes sirree. 2 blinds to go. Efkinus with Jack 6 in the big blind. Efkinus folds and we're moving on along. King 6 suited for Lena. Little King 6 suited. Finds the fold, that's unfortunate. Queen 5, serve them in. I don't think we open, they say yes we do. Yes, we do. King 6 suited, no good. Queen 5, oh yes sirree. We raise and take it down pre. Ace King for Lena, that's a good hand. Ace 7 for Chris will open under the gun. See what size Lena goes here. Something like 8, 7.5, somewhere in there. 7 exactly. Ace 7 will hit the muck. Do 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 do. Ace 10 for Grosarg. Serve them in with Queen 5 suited. That's a little bit more playable. They open it up from early ass position. Ace 10 for Grosarg. 3 bets to 7 blinds. Punishing the wide open. Serve Lamin says, I'm going to punish you with a 4 bet though. What do you think about that? No, we do not get that. Do 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 do. Ace 2, serve Lamin. Are we back in there? Serve Lamin says no, no. King 7 suited for Grosarg will open from the cutoff and just take this down pre. 7-4 for Chris, finds the fold. Ace 6 for Chris, Ace 3 for Lena. Get a button open and maybe just a fold from the small. Yep, 10-3 in the big, we'll let that go too. That's a bullshit holding. Circle him in, somehow still in there, finds the call. King, Queen, 10 flop. 10-3, oh, let's see a board. Backdoor royal flush draw, immediate straight draw to the jack. Chris will go for a 2 blind C bet. Bottom ass pair, no kicker, serve them in. What do we do, dude? We fold. Stupid spot for 10-3, let me tell ya. Grosarg with Ace 9 suited. What are we doing with 10-3, dude? Let's see a flop. Let's make a pair. Let's find the fold, then we're moving on along. King Jack for Surf Lamin. Coming in for a call from the small. This one makes some sense. Bowie in the big blind with 2-2. Personally, I just call here. No reason to bloat the pot with 2s. King Jack 7 flop 1 club for Grosarg with a backdoor straight draw or 2 in there. Top 2 for Surf Lamin. Under pair for Bowie. Top 2 leads out a third pot. Might just take the pot down here. Grosarg says, fuck your lead. I'm gonna fold. No, Grosarg says we're off to the turn. 5 of diamonds. 12 blinds in the middle. We'll bet slightly under pot. Size up a river jam. Something like 11, 10.5. 11.5. And the bet gets through. Ace Queen suited for LeQuendon. We got a Queen Jack suited for Chris and Queen 10 suited for Lena. We could see some calls and we might just see some folds. Get one call by Chris and Lena quickly folds. 10-6 suited for Efkinus and the big gets out of there. 7-5-5 flop. LeQuendon goes for a C bet 2.1 blinds. And Chris with the queen high just gets out of there. Not much here at all. Serve Lamin with 7-5 and 130 blinds. Thinks about an open. They say 2 blinds to go. I will raise the minimum. Grosarg with King 5 and the big blind doesn't know this, but he dominates. Serve Lamin. 3-bet bluff could come in. Calling is spicy. Grosarg goes in the tank. Some players will just fold. 3-bet to 15 blinds. That's huge. It's gonna work out here. 7-5 hits the muck. Ace 4 for Lena. Grosarg with a couple of kings. 10-7 suited for Surf Lamin. We'll get an open from somebody. 10-7 suited. Maybe a King 6 suited open from Bowie. Surflemin opens the 10-7. Folds the king. Ooh, 3 bets. And likely takes the pot down pre. Although it will be interesting to see Grozorg sizing as they just went absolutely huge with a big bluff. They got king the next hand. They go 10.5 this time. Changing up the sizing. Not giving away the strength of their hand at all. Interesting spot. Grozorg 10.5 blinds to go. 10-7 suited. Yeah, we're just getting out of there anyways. Doesn't matter what size you make it. 3-3. Lena will fold under the gun. King queen for Lequendon sees a button open. 31.5 blinds. From the small stupid spot. Call is really stupid, but we find it because it's king queen. Look, our opponent's got the old 8-10. We kind of got a call at least. A 3-bet is interesting. We probably don't want to do it though. 7-4 comes along in the big blind. We get a jack 9-5 flop. Quite a bit going on here. Open ender for Grozorg, looking for a 7 queen. An 8 is the best hand. Lequendon with a straight draw, 2 overcards, looking for a king, queen, or 10. Oh, the queen's no good, sorry. Chris picking up the flush draw on the 9 of diamonds turn. Lots going on here. 7 high though, no real draw other than the diamond. And the 7 puts a straight for Grozorg out there, so a 4 works. Chris looking for a 4 or diamond. Grozorg with the open ender on the paired board. Bets real small. King queen, which was the best if it finds the fold. Little diamond draw here for Chris. Might just want to fold as well. Yeah. 8-10 will take it down. Excuse me. 5-5 for Grozorg. They'll open it up from the cutoff. King jack suited for Chris in the small blind. Chris finds the call and a 6-3-3 flop. Grozorg with this pocket pair and a backdoor straight flush draw goes for a 2 blind bet. 2 overs with the backdoor flush draw. Chris might find the call. A raise is interesting. Call does make a lot of sense as we don't really want to bloat the pot just with a backdoor flush draw and 2 overcards. Chris says, I have a little bit of equity. I can hang in there for a call. We get the 7 of clubs on the turn goes check, check. 10 on the river goes check, check. And 5 scoop the pot. I do think Chris Jack might go for a bluff. Try to get some sort of ace high to fold. Bets real small. About a quarter pot. 5s with the flush blocker. Straight blocker. Find the call. Take down about a 15 blind pot. Nice one for Grozorg there. And they get a 6 and a 6, dude. 6 and a 6, they open it up. Queen 10 suited for Lequendon. We'll find the fold. 6-5 suited for Lena in the small. Lets that go. Ace 4 for Surflemin in the big. Ace 4 calls. 8-7-7 flop. More backdoor straight flush draws. Grozorg checks it back in position. King on the turn. Surflemin picks up a little bit of equity. Looking for an 8, a king, or a ace. I guess they didn't pick up equity, right? They just picked up a few outs. That's a stupid way to word that. Anyways, 6-6 for Grozorg. Goes for a small turn bet, delayed C bet. Ace 4 fold, and we're moving on along. Jack 8 for Chris, probably not a play. Queen 4 for Lena, also hits the muck. 9-10 suited, we'll raise it up. Bowie with 10-8, we'll call and see a flop. Let's call and see a flop. All in is the size for about 40 blinds, and 10-9 suited says we are not gonna go to the flop. I will jam and take it down pre. How about that, Bowie? Queen Jack for Lena. Ace King for Surf Lemon. Lena opens it up to 2.2. Surf Lemon will 3-bet here. See what size they go. Something like 8 blinds. 6.7. Ooh, very interesting. Lena getting a good price. Says, I just got to fold, dude. Queen Jack hits the muck. Ace 5 for Lena. They'll find the fold. Queen Jack for Bowie. Will open the button. Grows Org with Jack 9 in the big blind. Jack 9 calls. 6-4-3 flop. Grows Org leads 1.7. Kind of an interesting happening here with the backdoor flush draw 2 overcards, and we get Queen High, which is dominating us to fold. Very little interesting happening there by Grozorg. 5-5 for Lena. 5s open it up. King 2 suited for Surf Lemon. Could have thought about a spicy little 3-bet. They say no, we'll move along. King Jack defends the big blind. Ace 8-5 flop. Bottom set bets about a third pot and takes it on down. Ace 6 suited for Efkinus. 21 blinds. Thinks about an open. King Jack for Chris in the big blind. The Quendon with Ace 4. Efkinus just lets go of the Ace 5 suit, or Ace 6 suited, sorry. 8-5 suited for Grozorg opens the button. King Jack for Chris calls the big. We're off to a flop. Queen 6-4. Straight draw to the 7 for Grozorg. King Jack with 3 in a row. Doesn't really like to see a big bet, but a small bet is interesting. Very small bet by Grozorg. King Jack can float. We'll see a turn. Ace of spades. Good card for Grozorg to fire away, I would suppose. Grozorg says we'll just check. Maybe rep the ace on the river. Chris with King High has the best of it. Checks it on over. Eight blinds in the middle. We'll see if Grozorg fires a bet here. 8 high. We aren't winning if we check, that's for sure. We bet 2x the pot with a little juice on top of that. 16.5 blinds into 8. Well, King High is in a pickle. King High does hit the muck. Nice bluff by Grozorg there. Jack 10 for Chris. Covered by Lena in the big blind. Might limp it in. Ace 4 calls. Checks. Raises? What do we do? We raise the 4 blinds. Ace 4 calls. That's not an option, sir. Ace 4 call, or Ace 4 raises, sorry, to 4 blinds. Jack 10 calls. We get a Jack 8-2 flop. Flop goes check, check, 7 on the turn. Top pair in a straight draw. Chris might bet and take the pot down. They bet small. Lena will think about a call. Lena says no, and we're moving on along. Still 1 off the money here. Ace Jack suited for serve limit in the big. Ace 2 for Chris. They will open the button here. Feels like we're going to face a lot of 3 bets from the big blind. A 4-bet bluff could come in. Do we ever limp just to mitigate all of that bullshit? Chris says, yeah, just limp, dude. Limp it in. Let our opponent raise to like 4 blinds. Then we can go from there. Ace Jack suited. Raises the 8 blind. Says you don't want to face a 3-bet. So I'm going to 2-bet huge. What do you do about that? Give you the chance to fold. Call stupidly. 4-bet bluff. Ace Jack with the big ass raise will take it down pre. King 2 suited for the Quendon. Oh, I don't know why I thought that was going to be a play. 6-7 suited for Grozorg opens it up. King queen for Bowie. King queen for Bowie. Queen 6-3 flop. Pair versus pair. Middle pair likes a check back. Grozorg says, I like a small bet though. 1.5 blinds into 5.4. Bowie with the top pair, backdoor flush draw. Got a pretty fair kicker with that king of diamonds in their holding. They go for a check raise to 5.7. Grozorg c-bet gets punished. This is why you check back the flop with middle pair, because you don't want to face the check raise and call. 10 on the turn brings in some more draws, and there's still plenty of draws that were on the flop. All the 5-4, that's whatever's in there. The suited shit. 5-4 diamonds, 5-4 clubs. 7-4, same situation. King queen will check on the 10 of diamonds turn. Very interesting. Maybe make a pair of sixes feel a little bit more comfortable about itself, where it won't call a turn bet, but if it checks and sees a queen on the river, where all the draws brick, maybe a pair of sixes is curious enough to find a hero call. 17 blinds in the middle, just under 27 behind. I don't really know the size here. I like a jam. I don't know if we get called enough to take it. Bowie says, yes, we do. Just rip it in, dude. Offer up the 8k bounty. And pair of sixes aren't curious enough to call. Blinds go up. A little queen 9 for Lena from the cutoff. Folds to them. They're just gonna fold themselves. 5-4 suited for serve them in. We're almost in a spot where we can open rip. I don't know if we're there yet, but we are almost there. Servleman is doing some math and says, yeah, we're there. We can just open rip. 5-4 suited takes it down pre. Queen jack for Servleman. Ace king for Afghanis. I don't think this one open rips. No, queen jack min raises. Ace king will 3-bet jam. 3-3 for Grozorg's in a dumb spot. Probably just folds. 6k bounty on the line. I don't think so. 3-3 folds. See if queen jack goes bounty hunting. It's not horrific if Servleman calls and loses. And they got about 12 seconds to get it in here. They do find the get it in, 35%. They find a jack, ace, or king, and we find an ace on the turn. 10 on the river means nothing. Top pair, top kicker for Afghanis. They will take that pot down, get the full double 33 blinds. They're sitting pretty here. They're looking to be in 4th place, but just behind Bowie, just ahead Lena and Chris. Queen 8 for Servleman. Queen 8 opens. Queen 8. Oh. Hits the muck. Afghanis with king 7. Gonna fold the button. 8-2 for Grozorg. Don't get too crazy and rip it in, dude. No, but they will raise to 3 blinds. Ace 5 for Liquendon in the big. They rip it in for 20 and take it down pre. Jack 5 suited. No, that's not a play under the gun. Queen 9 for Bowie. Opens from the hijack and takes it down pre. King 9. Servleman might think about an open, but we get a couple of strong pocket pairs behind. Ace 3 for Bowie as well. Servleman says King 9 is good enough for an open. King King for Grozorg. Queen Queen for Chris with 1 queen gonna be folded from Lena. 7 blind 3-bet by Grozorg. If I'm Chris, I just jammed 29, almost 30 blinds. Pretty easy rip. We're 1 off the money. Pretty big cooler. Chris is gonna lose all their chips and a opportunity to win the 10k WCOOP here. Looking for 1 queen, a bunch of diamonds, little jack 10-8 action. We don't get that. And even a king on the river to rub it in. Grozorg makes the top set. Queen's no good. We make the money finally. Is that a break? Finally we get a break? 1 more hour left. Do I just continue? No, I kind of got to do something. Get some coffee. Yeah, maybe a little bite to eat. Okay. Alrighty, it looks like they took a day off or some shit. Or had a day, or the rest of the day off. Not taking a day off. You know what I mean, man. King Jack for Lena with the new change of seats. Comes in for the open Efkiness with King 9 suited. They're thinking 3-bet here. $80 or $8,400 bounty on the line. Efkiness finds the fold. Says, no, I'm not thinking 3-bet at all, dude. 7-6 for Grozorg and the big will find the call. We get a 9-8-3 flop. Open ender for Grozorg. King high still best with the backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw. Lena goes for a hefty bet, 3.8. The straight draw can't really fold. They can think check raise. Can call as well. Calling feels weak though. Calling comes along anyways. Ace on the turn. Flush draw gets there. King Jack is still best. Lena bets small, 5.5, and takes the pot down. It's a nice pot for Lena to take down. 37 blinds for him now, covering Bowie, Efkiness, and LeQuendon. 9-9, Efkiness will open Jack. Jack for Grozorg and King for Bowie in the big blind. Pretty stupid spot here. Grozorg will 3-bet, maybe even all in. Not all in, 3-bet, 7 blinds to go. King will rip. Efkiness might fold 9s. If it's a non-all in 4-bet, I think 9s just fold. If it's a jam, I think 9s just fold. 35 blind jam by the king and the king. Like Grozorg's going to be 3-betting probably quite a bit. Might be ahead of that range, but the jam from the big we're probably fucked by. There's some ace-king, maybe ace-queen suited that we're flipping against. And maybe Grozorg has some sort of ace-5. In the end, we get the 9s fold. Jacks are looking for a jack, of course. Bowie's kings will hold up. Nice fold by Efkiness to preserve their life. 30 blinds. Moving on along, covering LeQuendon. Grozorg with a couple of 3s will raise the button. King 7 suited for Bowie in the small will call. 10-7 suited for Lena in the big. They need to preserve chips, but they're getting a great price with the fair hand. See a little ace-8-2 flop. 3s are still best. No hearts for Bowie, 2 live cards. Lena with the backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw, or a 10. Grozorg might just c-bet, take the pot down. 2 blinds is the size. No real reason for 10-7 to hang in there, but a check raise is cool. Lena says no, fuck all that. We're moving along. Ace-Jack for Surf Lamin. 6-6 for Efkiness. Ace-Jack for Lena as well. Bowie folding an ace. Oh, 6s just fold. So we can Ace-Jack open. We'll see what Lena does. Ace-10 suited for LeQuendon in the big. All the aces have been accounted for. Ace-Jack will rip, looking for clubs. LeQuendon folds their suited ace. Surf Lamin sees an $8,400 bounty. Looking for hearts. We'll see if they call. We are in the money with 15k locked up. Surf Lamin says, I'm just going to fold and look for another spot, dude. How about that? Lena will get that one through in a spot where we chop it up a lot. Queen 10 for Grozorg. They'll open it on up. King Jack for Efkiness in the big blind. Efkiness calls. We get a Queen 10-3 flop. That's an open ender versus top 2 pairs. Action flop, dude. Efkiness thinking, do I lead? Do I just check call? Do I check raise? We'll see what happens. Small ass bet by top 2. We're certainly not folding facing this bet. Question is, do we call or raise? I like a call, to be honest. Efkiness says we'll bump it up. 6.5 blinds to go. Grozorg loving life. There's no flush draw. There's no flush draw out there. We might just call with top two. We lose to 3-3. Obviously tens, but it's very unlikely. Grozorg might just think 3-bet jam for value. And they land on that option, hoping maybe ace queen or king queen finds a call. Holy shit, this fly just came right in front of my eyes. Open ender for Efganis. Did not want to see the jam. Oh my lord. This fly's got a vendetta. King Jack open ender, 22 more to call into a big pot. I don't even want to do math right now. We see they got 32%. I don't know, dude. This is why I just call the flop bet. Efganis will fold the open ender and top two pairs will take the pot down. Ace 3 for Servleman. Whoa, this fly, man. Limp pot. King 6 for Efganis. Ace 3 suited for Servleman. Servleman checks and a queen jack 5 flop. Efganis with backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. Servleman with a backdoor straight draw or 2 or 3. Flop goes check, check, king on the turn. Paris kings is the best hand now for Efganis. Straight draw to the 10 for Servleman. No diamond in their holding. Ace high, Servleman doing some math. Since this is no good, ace 3 of spades hits the muck. King 6 suited for Bowie, opening under the gun. Jack 9 suited for Lena, we'll let that shit go. Ace 8 for Servleman in the small, this big ass stack. Yeah, they just fold from the small blind. Queen and a queen, Servleman will open the button. Ace 3 for Bowie, probably just plays call. Grozorg with queen 9 will get out of there. Don't 3-bet, don't 3-bet, just play call and a 10-4-2. Straight draw to the 5 for Bowie with that ace. Probably gonna call a flop bet. Servleman might size up here. He says no, just go small, 1.6 blinds. Bowie probably just calls, there's no flush draws out there. Ace high comes along, 9 on the turn. Rainbow ass board, queens are loving life. Surely we just bet big, right? Like 7 or more. 6.3. I guess giving ace 3 a fair price to come along to the river. There's some like queen, jack, king, queen, jack 8. Probably not suit. I guess so. Button open. Maybe even like 7-6. 8-7, that sort of shit as well for Servleman. They do got the queen and the queen, jack on the river. Some straights do get there. Ace high, probably just check folds. Servleman will size up a river bet. It isn't easy to get called by worse. There's a world where they just check down the queens. Servleman says, no, this is still just a button versus big blind situation. We gotta go for a hefty value bet. 15 blinds to go. No way ace 3 check raise jams. Servleman takes down a nice pot. 8-9 for the big stack. We'll see if they get back in there from the cutoff. That they do. Ace 9 for Lena in the big. Just under 38 blinds deep. They find the call. King 6-2 flop. Stupid spot. Ace 9 checks. No real draws out there. 8-9 goes for a small c bet. And ace 9 hits the muck. Yeah, kind of a stupid spot for the old ace-9. I thought we would have hung in there for one bet, but then we're going to call and see a turn where we very are unlikely to improve. We can't really pick up equity with a draw. Elena says we'll just check fold ace-9. King 8 for Bowie will face the 20 blind jam. LeQuendon with ace-3 suited takes the spot from the big and gets it on through. I cover Efkinus now, that's pretty important. 6-5 suited for Serve Lemin will open under the gun. Queen 9 suited for Grozorg. One seat to their left will just fold. King 2 suited for Efkinus in the big blind. Let's see a flop, dude. Efkinus calls. Ace King 4 flop. Backdoor straight draw for Serve Lemin with the ace high board. Probably c-bets. Middle pair with the nut flush draw for Efkinus. A backdoor straight flush draw is in there too. Serve Lemin c-bets. Efkinus probably just calls and sees a turn. The 9 of clubs. No equity picked up for Serve Lemin. They are drawing dead. They could always try to buy the pot here. Might work on a non-heart river. Six high, no showdown value. Checks, sees the 10 of clubs. Let's see if Serve Lemin even wastes any chips. They might just check and concede to defeat. 8.5 blinds in the middle. They bet 3, putting the pair of kings in a weird spot. I don't know if this is going to work or not. Efkinus is curious. Going in the time bank here. Got 84 seconds to think this one through. Looks super weak if we're being honest. King 2 does find the call. Nicely done by Efkinus to take the pot down. Hang in there facing the small river bet. King Jack for Bowie. Opening it up. Lena with an ace and a 2 at the same suit will find the fold. Jack 10 hits the muck. Ace 6 suited in the big blind. Probably not a 3-betting hand, but a 3-betting situation, that's for sure. Serve Lemin says we're just going to call and see a flop. 9-5-5. No hearts for Serve Lemin. Facing a c-bet will be weird. Backdoor straight draw. Ace high is best. Get a free queen of diamonds on the turn. Not what we're looking for. That fly is back and he's doing the little hand rubbing thing. Little Satan coming out of him. Got me here to piss off the commentator, dude. Anyways, King Jack with the straight draw. Goes for a small bet here on the turn. 1.75 into 5 1/4. Plenty of draws out there. Ace 6, however, has nothing, so it has to fold with what was the best hand. 10-10 for Elena. Efkinus with ace queen suited. We could have a big pot here with 110 being folded in the big blind. Some clubs being folded. I didn't see an ace or queen though. But I think 6-handed Efkinus is going to get this in. Lena as well with the $6,200 bounty on the line. 10-10 is fucking strong. Ace queen will 3-bet to 5 blinds. We'll see if Lena takes this post flop or just rips it in. Protects their equity. Gonna be tough to play out of position. They do rip. Efkinus with the decision now to flick it in or just fold. Ace queen suited. Super strong. We call. I think so. 25 blinds behind. We do cover LeQuendon if we fold. I think ace queen just takes the spot in the end. Efkinus will think and fold. Okay, I'm wrong. Efkinus says 3-bet fold the ace queen suited 6-handed. And they get an ace and a jack the next hand. Suited and booted as well. So Lena avoids the flip, takes down the 3-bet pot. Not too bad of a situation, I suppose. 42 blinds for Lena. King 8 suited for Grozorg, thinking 3-bet from the small. Do we find it? Make it 7.5 to go. Fold the 4-bet jam. Grozorg says no. Queen 10 for Bowie, closing the action. Probably just plays call. We'll see 3 cards. 7, 5, 5. If F gonna C bets, they probably just take the pot down. They say we'll go to the turn for free. A 5 of clubs, bringing in the flush draw as there's 3 of a kind on the board. So any pair makes a boat. Queen high for Bowie, checks. Afghanis goes for a little bet, 2 1/4. Check raise by Bowie would be nasty. Doesn't have a great reason to do it though. Check raise is nasty, dude. 7 1/4 and a little bit more. Check raise is nasty. About 5 blinds to call with the nut flush draw, and there's 3 of a kind out there. Ace jack calls, bangs off the flush on the river. Bowie blocks the flush? I don't know, man. Some sort of like 8s through 10s might check in Bowie's shoes. It's not as easy to rep a boat as a boat now. Like what king check raises the turn? Like you might have a 7, a few pocket pairs. Afghanis with the flush here. 20 blinds in the middle. Bowie does check. Very reasonably. It's just so hard to rep anything credibly there. Like you're trying to say, I've got quads. I've got quads and that's about it. Maybe 7-7. Ace jack making the flush, just checks it down, sees the good news, takes down a big pot. Queen jack suited the next hand for Afghanis. And come back right in for another open. 8-8 for Surf Lemon. And then we got a couple of 3 of them suited aces in the blinds and button. Surf Lemon calls. Any one of these 3 players could 3-bet here, but with Surf Lemon in the pot, that's going to deter every one of them. Grozorg folds. Ace 9 suited for Bowie. Not really a 3-betting hand. They'll just play call. Ace 2 suited calls as well. 4 ways to the King 3-3 flop. We got 2 flush draws and a pocket pair. Ace 9 for Bowie doesn't belong. Although an ace or 9 gives him the best hand. That's the club. But there's no ace of clubs available. You know what I mean, dude. So we got 9.5 in the middle. We'll see if Surf Lemon goes for a little bet here to protect that pocket pair of 8s. I would suppose Lena calls. Afghanis will decide based on the sizing most likely. Surf Lemon could just check. They say no, we'll go for a little bit more than a 1/4 pot size bet. So Lena calls and I suppose Afghanis calls. What if Lena raises? I don't know if we want to. Doesn't it just seem like a spot where you want to call with the flush draw on the paired board? Like you aren't too worried about King. Afghanis I suppose could have it. So if they jam here or something. Or sorry, just check raise. Check raise to like 9 blinds. They could have King. But King would probably just call. Anyways, the worst flush draw folds. Nice fold by Afghanis to get out of there with the flush draw. Backdoor royal flush draw even. We get a King of Hearts on the turn. Double paired board. And you King or 3 make a boat. There's 2 flush draws. Surf Lemon with the pocket pair has the best of it. And we'll check and see a 4 of clubs on the river. So now Lena has the best hand with the flush on the double paired board. 8-8, no good. Beats some sort of like 5s through 7s. Lena checks. I think Surf Lemon just checks and shows down the 8s. Hard to get paid by worse. Maybe an ace high. That's probably a flush draw that got there on the river. Yeah, 8s just check and lose. Nice pot for Lena once again. 50 blinds. Moving along, very comfy position just behind Bowie and Grozorg. 6-5 suited for Bowie will open the button. 10-2 suited of the same suit for LeQuendon in the big blind. They find the call with like 20 behind. Jack, 3-2 flop. Straight draw to the 4. Bowie probably c-bets LeQuendon with that bottom pair of 2s. Depending on the size will dictate how they play. It's a super small bet. They probably call, but some check raises might happen. There's the raise to 4 blinds. Bowie says, I have a straight draw to the 4. Do you know what I have, dude? Do you know what I have? Bowie calls. 10 on the turn. Flush draw completes. 2 pairs for LeQuendon. I kind of like a check raise jam by LeQuendon, if we're being honest, even though the flush gets there. They might bet real small, like 3 blinds. No, they just overbet jam. Gonna get 6 high off the pot. LeQuendon takes that one down. Looks like we have another break somehow. I hope that's the last one. 9-6. No, why did I think Servleman was gonna play? Ace 10 for Grozorg as the fly is back. My lord. Ace 10 will open it up. 8-10 suited for Lena on the button. I do like this hand. Lena says I like it too. Let's call and see a flop due to Ace 4 suited for LeQuendon. Might call. Could 3-bet. I suppose some folding happens as well, but I like a call best. Here comes the 3-bet though. 8.3 to go. Oh my lord, the fly's on my face? This fly is ruthless. King Jack for Bowie. Grossorg folded that Ace 10 by the way. Nice 3-bet by LeQuendon to get the better hand to fold. Holy moly. King Jack for Bowie. They open it up 9-5. Servleman says, I don't want to defend my blind here. You got it, Bowie. It's all yours. The fly is fucking back now. He's like, coffee. Give me some of that coffee. $10-5 versus 9-5. This is the shit we love to see. Limp pot. 10-9-7 flop. Feels like a 5 is coming if we're being honest. Top pair versus middle pair. Like, just go elsewhere, fly. Anyways, flop goes check, check, 2 on the turn. Just about 3 blinds in the middle. No 5 on the turn. Servleman will bet. How big do we bet? 2 blinds, a little bit more. Grossorg calls with that pair of 9s. 2 on the river. Holy shit, the fly. He is back on the mic. Ready to sing. I guess I'll just let you be, dude. You want to hang out and smell my coffee breath? Sure. Hang on out. Servleman bets 6 blinds with the toughest of pairs. Grossorg with that 5 of spades says, I blocked some flush draws that missed on the river. I don't know if I want it so much. Does a 9 ever try to bluff on the river? Calling just feels weird. Grossorg in the end says, I'm still going to call. There's still plenty of queen jack, maybe an 8x, some spades. Grossorg sees the bad news. They're down to 30 blinds, and just like that, Lena is in second place. Playing a damn good game here. Winning some crucial pots as the fly still hangs out on the mic. He has no problem at all with where he is. Servleman opening queen 10. I would show you the fly on the mic, but it just doesn't matter at all, really. Kind of good opportunity to study flies from real close up. Yeah, you got a lot of eyeballs, dude. That's for sure. Hey, what's up? What's up, dude? Anyways, king 10 for happiness. They open it up. I like the fly better when it just stood still on the mic. King. Well, I didn't even realize Bowie comes in for a small 3-bet. 3x from the small. Efkiness probably just folds, but a 4-bet bluff wouldn't work. Would not. Bowie's kings get no action. Feels like they've picked up a few strong hands. Hasn't been quite rewarded for it. 41 blind, still sitting pretty. Back in second place for Bowie. Ace 9 suited will open the button. Ace 7 for LeQuendon. Ace 7 does flop middle pair. Bowie with the straight draw to the 8 in the backdoor diamond draw. Flop goes check, check, check on the turn. Straight draw gets longer, but no outs picked up for Bowie. LeQuendon checks over the 7. Bowie goes in the tank. Says I block 8-9. Checks and a 5 of clubs on the river, completing the front door flush. There was only one flush. 5 on the river, completing the flush. Ace 7 bets real small, little block bet 1 3/4. Bowie with the ace and the 9. Don't think we're gonna call, but we block straights. We could turn our hand into a bluff. Ace high. Bowie says, fuck all of that, dude. We are just gonna fold and look to play a better hand. Not much doing here at all. Got a couple 8 highs in the blinds. Might get to go to war. Bowie with 6-5-0 says I cover you all, but I have to fold. 8-6 will raise to 2.5. Efkiness with 8-5 probably just folds. Yeah, not much happening there. Couple of king queens, a little ace 7 for LeQuendon. Grosarg will open. Bowie might 3-bet here. We're covering Grosarg. We're 30 blinds deep. Maybe we call because we don't really want to get 4-bet jammed on. Bowie says no, just fold, dude, facing the under the gun open. Let go of the king queen. 6-3 for serve limit in the big blind. Jack 5-3 flop, bottom pair for serve limit. Both players with a backdoor flush draw and backdoor straight draws. Do. King queen bets about a third pot. 6-3 has a backdoor straight flush draw. Might think about a check raise with that bottom pair. Serve limit goes in the tank. Feels like it's gonna happen. They say no. We'll call, dude. We'll call. See a 7 on the turn. Bringing in this straight draw for us. King queen with the flush blocker says I don't know if I want that anymore. Wait, isn't it okay because we block hands that call? We block king jack king queen. So we do go for another bet, putting a pair of 6s with the draw in a weird spot. Big turn bet, sizes up a river jam if Grosarg wants to take the spot. Serve limit doesn't have much time bank here. In the end, they find the call. Jack on the river, not easy to rep a credible bluff by Grosarg. Or a credible hand, sorry, a credible value hand. Like aces slow down. 5s, ace jack, king jack, queen jack maybe? Maybe not queen jack. A little bit of queen jack suited under the gun for Grosarg. Just very few hands, like aces check, kings check, queens check. Bad river card for Grosarg, where there's a lot of cards they could just fire a bluff. In the end, serve limit gets showdown with a pair of 3s and wins a pot. King 10 will get it in. Burst jack 4, who finds a pair of 4s. King or 10 dealer, and there's a king on the river. Grosarg survives. 40 blinds for him right back in just about second place. Looks like they're slightly behind Bowie. Anyways, queen 10 will open for LeQuendon. Serve limit down to 70 blinds. Still in a very comfy first place. Jack 10 suited, plays call from the button. Bowie's out of there. We get a king, queen, 5 flop. Pretty good for serve limit. Open ender with the flush draw. You wouldn't believe it, but a backdoor royal flush draw. Middle pair, we'll check it on over. Serve limit, we'll think about a bet and say maybe I just want to check because I don't want to get check raised. Maybe I don't mind getting check raised, so I'll go for a bet anyways. What about that? They bet a little bit under a third, and then there's another queen on the turn. LeQuendon says, hey, that's a cool card. Do I lead? Do I lead? think I lead. There's a lot of fucking draws out there. Quentin bets 3.5. This makes sense. A small lead on the turn. Jack 10 suited at least has to call. We probably don't want to raise. 17 blinds in the middle if we call. 3 a spade on the river. Serve them in. We'll just get out of there. But it's a weird spot for LeQuendon with 3 of a kind. Like, how much do we bet? 25 behind, 17 in the middle. Do we bet like 8 blinds? Do we bet a little bit less to try to get our opponent to bluff? Like 5? LeQuendon says, I'm going to land on a 7 blind bet. Really weird spot for LeQuendon. Anyways, Jack 10 suited, hangs in there for half a second, and then finds the fold. It's Jack high with a misdraw. Nice pot for LeQuendon anyways. 42 blinds will put them in second place. The 6 serve lemon will open it up. 9-5 suited for Lena in the big. Says, I got a call and a king, queen, jack flop. Couple of straight draws and a backdoor flush draw for Lena. Serve lemon. Ace high has the best hand. You can see bet in position and just take the pot down a lot. 1.6 blind bet will get the job done. What's going on here? Bowie with an ace and a 5. I open it up. Queen 8 for Lena in the small. Probably folds. 8-7 for LeQuendon. Will defend the big blind, covering for the bounty. Queen 10-6 flop. We got a straight draw versus ace high. Bowie in position. Sees a 5 blind pot. They check it on back and a 2 on the turn. LeQuendon might bet. Bop-a-dee-bop. Straight draw to the 9. No, LeQuendon checks. They got that 8 of hearts blocking some potential flush draws. There we go. So some hands that might call you, so you might feel willing to throw in a bet on the turn. Rep some flushes on the river when they complete. We get a jack of hearts on the river, so like ace king, king 9, 9, 8 makes straights. 8-7 will just check. Ace 5 just checks and wins the pot. Unless Bowie wants to try to bluff like a 6 off the pot. Maybe a 2 as well will fold. A 10 would be in a weird spot. Bowie does bet and says, I'll just buy the pot. Often lose to some hands sometimes. Expert analysis. King 9 suited. Serve them in will open under the gun. I'll bet and win sometimes and lose the other times. You know? King 9 suited opens under the gun. Ace 5 for Bowie. Three for LeQuendon. Bowie folded whatever they had. I forget already. Ace 8 or some shit. Jack 5 for Efkiness in the big. Get a call from the small with the pocket pair. Efkiness getting a fair price in last place. They say we'll just fold our shitty little Jack 5 suited. 9-5 2 flop pot pair for serve them in. They'll go for a C bet here surely. And the pair of 3s will think about it. They could just fold facing the flop bet even if it's small. Because it's a pair of 3s. But then you think, wow, my opponent's opening a fuck ton, dude. If I just call and bang off a 3 on the turn and they continue to have a bluff or some shit, I'm going to win a big pot. LeQuendon thinks something even different. My opponent's opening a fuck ton. Let me check raise the pocket 3s. Try to get a fuck ton of shit to fold. King 9 going nowhere. King 9 calls 5 on the turn. Cuts out on some sets. 5-5 might even check the turn. No, I think 5-5 just continues to barrel, build the big pot with the quad. 3s even fire another barrel. 6 blinds from LeQuendon. Weird spot. King 9 probably just calls again, but I'm wondering what 3s do on the river. The fly is back, dude. 7 of hearts. Fly. So what do we do? 3-3 with stacked pot ratio about 1-1? Surely we don't rip 3s. We check. We're just losing. King 9, do we value bet? This is kind of scary. I personally might just check King 9 here. There's some Ace 9 we lose to. Boats would rip. There's some missed draws. King 9 does just check. Very reasonable. Very scary spot there for a serve limit. They hang in there with top pair and a fair kicker and see the good news. Big stack grows even bigger, and serve limit has a 9 and a 2 facing the under the gun +1 raise 6-handed. Serve limit folds the shit hand. Queen 10 for Lena. This is kind of a learning spot. 33 blinds. Yeah, I was wondering, do we even open this here? Lena says no. Fold Queen 10. Let serve limit play the King 4 in the small blind versus Queen Jack in the big. Grozorg will call if there's an open raise. Serve limit says we'll just limp this one in. Force Grozorg to see a flop with me. Come into the jungle, Grozorg. Grozorg says I'm gonna raise to 3.5 blinds. Serve limit 3 bets. That's nasty shit. Do it, serve limit. How big do we go? I think like 8.5. 8.1. Nasty shit. We're in the jungle. Serve limit limps it in. Queen Jack raises. Oh, and the fly is back, dude. He's right in my ear. This is weird. Fly is nasty. Queen Jack calls. We get an Ace King 7 flop. Queen Jack calls. Finds a straight draw to the 10. Gonna be very difficult to hang in there with no backdoor flush draw. Serve limit with middle pair. Might bet really small. I like a block bet like 10%. Serve limit just says check. Serve limit does have that backdoor flush draw with the pair. Got a free jack on the turn, so a little bit of equity picked up for Grozorg. 2 pair draw, 3 of a kind draw. Oh, but it's a heart. Doesn't that cut out on some of our outs? It sure does. So we pick up 2 jacks, 2 queens. We lose a 10, we lose a queen. So we pick up a little bit of equity? I think. Anyways, turn goes check, check 3 on the river. I don't know if serve limit bets again. 17 blinds in the middle with second pair. Unless we want to bluff. Are we going to try to get some ace to fold? Probably not going to work. Unless we jam. I just don't think we bluff. There's the 10% bet. A little bit less even. And Queen Jack does pay it off. Sees the bad news. Nice play there by serve limit. Love the 3-bet pre-flop. Nasty stuff there. Queen 7 serve limit will open it up. I wonder if they go bigger than like 8.1 like they elected to. They might just get Queen Jack to fold. Weird spot for serve limit. Anyways, Ace 5 for Grozorg will 3-bet from the small to 7 blinds. Probably just takes this one down pre. The serve limit says fuck you and rips it in. Not today with Queen 7. 10-8 suited will open. Queen Jack suited for Grozorg on the button. Do we just call? And we're also almost into the spot where serve limit will rip. We're still playing 40 blinds deep with Bowie, so that's probably not going to happen for a little bit. But if they're ever like 27 blinds deep, we could see some jams by serve limit pre-flop to avoid facing 3-bets, such as this situation right here. Queen Jack suited, Grozorg rips for 30 blinds, takes it down pre. 7-7 for Efkinus, 17 blinds, might rip it in. Ace 10 for Lena, 7's fold. Queen 4 suited for Bowie will open from the button. Ace 10 is in a weird spot if we're being honest. Do we really want a 3-bet? Lena says yeah. 3-bet will just get through. When you look at your opponent's Queen 4 suited, yeah, it's like 3-bet of course, but weird spot for Ace 10-0 there. Guess just 3-bet fold facing a 4-bet jam. 8-9, Lequendon will rip it in, covering for the bounty, and take it down pre. Ace Queen, Grozorg will open under the gun, Jack 9 suited for Lena. I think they cover for the bounty, but they just get out of there. LeQuentin with king 7 on the button. Don't do it, dude. 3-bet does come in, 6.5 blinds. Grozark rips for the bounty. Takes it down pre. Don't think we call here out of position. That'd be way too difficult to play. Grozark goes in the tank. Hopefully they don't prove me wrong. Like, LeQuentin is just bluffing here with the king 7, but yeah, ace queen will rip and take the pot down. 5-5 for Bowie, a couple of ducks for Lena. We get the under the gun open. Deuces fold. Ace 9 for Grozark again. The big will defend with the call. We're off to the flop, and it's ace 9 10. Ace 10 9. 9 ace 10. No matter which way you say it, Grozark's got 2 pairs top and bottom. Bowie with the under pair will bet 2 blinds. Grozark does just call. Good stuff, giving Bowie the chance to bluff here with all their broadways. Some flush draws that just got there on the some flush draws that were picked up on the turn. Like, Bowie's not gonna have like jack 8. It will have plenty of queen jack, however. They just so happen to have the under pair of 5s. That bet another 8.5 blinds, sizing up the river jam. Ace 9 hopefully just calls. I don't think Bowie will blast off on the river. But obviously Grozark, if they could see what their opponent had, would want to just call and then check the river. 4 of hearts. Clean card for 2 pairs. 26 blinds in the middle, 25 behind. The fly is back. Holy shit. Get out of here, dude. We do get a jam by Bowie. A quick rip by ace 9. Do we even call for half a blind? I know we just fold. No bounty for you. No bounty for you. We're all in with 10-6. $8,200 bounty on the line this hand. Lena limps in 4-3 suited under the gun. Efkinus with queen 3 suited. Queen 9 suited for serve lemon. They might raise. Serve lemon might make it like 7 blinds here. Try to get Grozark out of the pot. And obviously Lena as well. Like, I don't think we want to jam queen 9 suited. Although we do see a lot of jams on the final tables here in these big tournaments. Yeah, serve lemon just says, fuck you guys. I'll take my equity here with queen 9 suited. 10 or 6 and we find it. However, a 10 is a straight. Queen or 9 would have worked. But no, Bowie survives with 2 blinds. Weird happening there. Ace 4 for both serve lemon and Bowie. Serve lemon, min raise. What do we do here now? We limp. Okay. I like that. 10-3 will come along. Ace 4 from the small. They raised to 2 blinds, leaving 0.22 behind. Does ace 4 ISO jam again for 80 big blinds? $8,000 bounty on the line. Obviously, if ace 4 isolates, which it does, we're going to chop the pot here almost always. Spades, diamonds, no hearts, no nothing, just a paired board, a chop pot. 3.5 blinds for Bowie. We'll see if they can get back in the game here. King Jack for Efkinus. Might just fold this here. 8-7 for serve lemon. King 9 for Bowie. We'll see how aggressive Bowie gets here off the short stack. 1 blind limp by serve lemon. Queen 4 for Grozark. The thing is, Bowie doesn't want to go 4 or 5 ways to a flop here with King 9-0, putting 3.5 blinds in the middle. So if they jam, they really gotta hope somebody isolates the pot. Just get King 9's heads up with whatever. Bowie might just fold and try to get some ladders. It's not likely, dude. Bowie sticks it in with the King 9. They do have the best hand here. We'll see what serve lemon does. They're still playing 80 blinds deep with Grozark. They got 8-7. 8K bounty on the line, dude. They cover Grozark for another $9,300 with Queen 4. Servleman just calls this time. Queen 4 comes along. Jack 5, 4 flop. Bottom pair of 4s for Grozorg. Straight draw to the 6 for Servleman. King 9. Backdoor straight and backdoor flush for Bowie. Servleman with the straight draw leads 3 blinds. Can we ever blast a pair of 4s off the pot and somehow king high wins? Not yet anyways. 3 ways to the 4 on the turn. Grozorg is not folding. Bowie is in fact dead. 8-7 looking for a 6. Where's the side pot? 5 blinds. Servleman bets another 5. If I'm Grozorg, I bump it up here, but obviously we're going to get Servleman off the pot, which kind of sucks. There's too many other hands that have fair equity that we can raise and get value from. Queen 4 raises to 17.5. Servleman 12.5 to call into a pot that would total 53. We have to fold. Ace on the river means nothing. Spades complete means nothing. 4 of a kind, 3 of a kind, 3 4s. Takes the pot down. Bowie's out of here. We're down to 5. We've got 22k locked up and a little bit more on top of that. Ace 10 Servleman will come right back in for an open. Efkiness in the big with ace queen. King 8 suited for Lena. Hopefully doesn't 3-bet here. Nope. Ace queen will rip for about 13. Ace 10 will probably find the call. $6,200 bounty on the line. 27%. We're looking for a 10. Some backdoor straights. A deuce on the turn means nothing. And a 7 on the river is clean. Efkiness gets the full double 26 blind slide their way. They're pretty well tied with Lena now. And they got a pocket pair of 5s. Queen 9. Grozorg opens under the gun. Jack 3 for Servleman in the big. Does Efkiness ever rip? We cover LeQuendon. We're right behind Lena. 5-5 is almost a jam here. We take the spot and Efkiness takes it down. Pretty good stuff. 30 blinds. Now we do cover Lena and LeQuendon. King 8 suited on the button. Efkiness opens and takes it down pre. 2 blinds. 10-3 for Grozorg in the big. Some players are sticky as shit, such as Grozorg, who calls 10-3-0 from the big. 6-4-3 flop. Bottom pair leads out 1.5 and King 8 with the backdoor straight draw. 2 live overcards. Hates life. I got no idea what to do here. Sometimes I call, sometimes I raise, sometimes I just fold. King 8 says, yeah, let's just fold. King 8, no real draw, just a little bit of backdoor equity and a couple of overcards. That could potentially be dirty as there is a flush draw out there. And an 8, I think, completes some straights. We get a 9-7 jam by Grozorg and they take the pot down pre. Lena folding king high for 20 some blinds. Ace king for Servleman. They will raise and likely just take this down pre. No, LeQuendon with 10-8 could defend the big. Min raise from Servleman. 4-5 for Grozorg. Surely doesn't come along. We cover him for a 20k bounty. That's kind of cool. Grozorg says this is not the spot though. And ace king just takes it down pre. 10-8 hits the muck. Ace 10 Servleman will be right back in there. Ace 7 suited. Grozorg could get spicy. We could just call and go to the flop. A limp pot. Servleman 48 blinds deep, limps it on in. Ace 7 for Grozorg says okay. Okay, let's come along. 8-7 for Lena says 5 ways to the flop. I don't mind. 6-2 calls from the small. Efkiness with 10-8 has no reason to raise here. We're just gonna go 5 ways to the flop, 5-handed. Servleman with the funniest of limps. Get a king 7-3 flop. Both Lena and Grozorg with a pair. Servleman looking for a 10. Efkiness backdoor straight draw. LeQuendon with a backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. Does ace 10 bet? No. Grozorg, do we bet second pair with the best kicker? Nope. Just lean a bet with second pair and a shit kicker. Try to buy the pot. Yes. Yes, sirree. Ace 10 hits the muck. Ace 7, 8 folding. We got the backdoor nut flush draw. No, no, no. We don't fold here. A raise doesn't make much sense to me. Jack on the turn. We'll go check, check, I would imagine. Unless Lena bet's really small, like 2 blinds. Maybe a little bit more. Lena says free card. Was there any chop potentials? I don't think so. No chop potentials. We get a 2 on the river. This should just go check, check in 9 blinds. Slide over to Grozark. Oh, there is a second fly. So all this time I thought I was getting fucked with by 1 fly. Here I see 2 flies hanging out together, conceiving of some mischievous ideas. Ace 4 sees a jam for about 12 blinds and a $3,700 bounty. LeQuendon wakes up with King King, and the jam will get through pre. With the frequency that fly was pissing me off, I should have figured there was more than 1 fly. But anyways, that doesn't matter. King Queen, Efkinus will open the button. Grozark with a 7 and a 7 in the big blind will think about a 3-bet jam for a $6,200 bounty, and they go for a small 3-bet. Trying to induce some jams by a 4-bet. 4-bet bluffs, such as King Queen suited, which is a flip. Efkinus calls. We get an Ace Jack 10 flop. That's the nuts for Efkinus. Loses to a backdoor full house. Other than that, though, they're sitting pretty here. 7-7 does see an ace high board. I could see a small bet coming in here by Grozark. Just trying to clean up some equity versus some random ass hands. They could even get some like 8s to fold. 9s, maybe. Probably not. What are we even getting to fold? Whoa. I am not too sure. 7-7 bets. Does pick up a boat draw. Open-ended straight flush draw for Efkinus. 7's check, drawing to a jack or 7. 19 blinds in the middle. If I'm Efkinus, I check, and I want to see a river card here, specifically the ace of clubs. We bet 1.5, 7-7 probably just folds facing the less than 10% pot bit. No, we call 10 on the river, double paired board. Do we just check the straight now? Goes to any jack 10, a couple of aces. Ace jack, ace 10. Hard to get paid off here with king queen. We'll see if Efkinus still takes the spot. They say we'll just check and show it on down. Take the 22 blind pot. There's still some like ace king, ace queen they could get paid by potentially. That might just fold facing the river jam. Efkinus says I might just get called by boats if I bet. So I check and win. Ace jack circle him in. We'll open the button and take it down pre. Queen 10 for Efkinus. Queen 10 for Efkinus. Open it up. Ace 5 for Grozark. Interesting little spot here. Certainly a 3-betting hand, 37 blinds deep. Grozark says, I'm just going to call here, keep the shorties in the blinds in the hand. Such as the queen 8 suited in the big. We get an ace jack 6 flop. Efkinus with the straight draw to the king. Grozark with top pair. Backdoor flush draw for them and LeQuendon. Efkinus with the pre-flop aggressive lead will go for a c-bet, about a third pot. Top pair will call. 5 of diamonds on the turn, puts a rainbow on the board, doesn't bring in too many draws here. Grozark won't have no 8-7 suited or nothing like this, calling the flop. Efkinus says I'm going to use my pre-flop aggressive lead. Continue to tell this story. Size up a river jam if I want to take the spot. Maybe if I bang off a beautiful king. At 7.2. Well, that's 2 pairs for Grozark. I was thinking, is there some rivers where Grozark folds? No flush draw out there, just a few straight draws. 8 on the river. Grozarg happily gets this in with 2 pairs. Top and bottom, we lose to like 8 jack, maybe a few sets like 6s, jacks, not 8s, a couple of aces, no 5s. Ace 5 will happily rip it in and take it down. Queen 10 doesn't pull the trigger on the river. Grozarg jams and takes it on down. Queen high doesn't hero call, never. Not here, not today. 90 blinds for Grozarg, sitting very pretty in first place, covering Serflam in by almost double now. 10-7 suited, 5-handed under the gun. Serflam in says 5 ways to a flop, dude. Let's do it again. We love to see it. 8-5 suited for Grozarg. They're gonna call. If we raise, let's call. 5 ways to a flop. No, Grozarg says no fun here today. No more 5-way pots. Ace 2 for Lena folds. Ace queen for Efkinus in the big. I think would have raised if there was 4 limps. 4 limps into their big blind. Even 1 limp, they will just rip 25 blinds and take it down pre. Kind of a weird spot for Efkinus where they really don't want to put their life on the line in that situation where they cover Lena for that big bounty and the Quendon as well. If they get a couple ladders, they could make almost $26,000. Chance for a couple bounties. You really don't want to put your life on the line there. Ace queen does just rip and take it down pre. 5-4 limps and flops 2 pairs here. Jack 5-4 flop. Serflam in with some backdoor equity. Doesn't really want to see a lead. How about that? Doesn't really want to see the overbet lead. 2 pairs is quite vulnerable here, so it does make some sense to go for a big bet on a very wet board. So it looks a little weird by Efkinus, but it makes sense. 6-4 for Grozarg. We'll get a walk. He's 10 for Quendon. Might rip this in here. 13 blinds. 13 blind poker. It's fun to see min raises, but with bounties on the line, it's much more difficult to do. Quendon will just take the spot, rip it in. 3-3 for Elena. Might go for the flip here. They don't really want to put their situation on the line. I'll preserve all 18 blinds and move along. Queen 9 suited. Serflam in will open. Queen 9 for Grozarg. Oh, it's a limp again. Another limp pot. We'll see if Grozarg hangs in there. They say let's bump it up. I've had enough of this limping bullshit. No more limping it in, Serflam in. 4 blinds to go. Kind of want to see a call. No. Situation is too spicy. Serflam in says we could just get heads up in a few hands if I wait patiently. I just fold the Queen 9. Ace Jack. Grozarg opens and probably just takes it down pre. Efkinus with Queen 6 in the big. Hey, just find the fold. 5 for Grozarg opens. Ace 9 suited for Efkinus. We could find the call from the small. 27 blinds. Weird spot. They do call and find top pair. Ace Jack 4 flop. 5-5. Sees an ace high board. Might go for a C bet. Let's put in a little bet here, like 1.8. See what happens from there. Efkinus says, okay, let's see a turn card. What about that, dude? Oh, we're gonna raise. Efkinus says, how about we raise and get the pocket pair of 5s off the pot, drawing to 2 cards. Ace 9 takes it down. Queen for Serflam in and a king queen for Grozarg in the big blind. We could have some fireworks here. Personally, if I'm Serflam in, I limp it in. 40 some blinds deep, we could raise. Serflam in says limp. This is the cool stuff right here. Grozarg will stick in a raise for value with king queen to 3.5 blinds. Serflam in shows the proclivity to 3-bet, facing the wide 2-betting range here by Grozarg. See what size Serflam in goes. Last time it was like 8.1 when they covered Grozarg. 8.5 is the size. Don't think Grozorg rips it in here, but if they do, they're looking for a king, which they find. 20k bounty on the line. King 10-7 flop. Pretty shitty board for Surflamin. Backdoor straight draws a chop. There's even the backdoor flush draw for Grozorg with the top pair. Surflamin bets real small, 4.5. They're still getting value from jacks. There's some straight draws. Ace, jack, ace, queen. Queen, jack. Jack 9 is double gutter. Surflamin with top pair will yoink it all in. Hopefully Surflamin gets the hell out of there, dude. Yeah, they got 6%. They are in some trouble. One out with some backdoor chops. Tough spot. Surflamin calls. Sees the bad news. We're looking for a queen. Just a queen, dude. Not here. Not today. 20k bounty for Grozorg. They'll scoop that 84 blind pot. Sees a magical king on the river. Gets it all in. And they get this queen 7. They'll rip it in. Lena with 7s calls. Ace 5 hits the muck. Looking for a queen. Some backdoor hearts. Just the queen. Oh, fuck you, dude. Grozorg running pretty good here. $8,400 bounty. Grozorg takes another body. 35 blinds. Not too many left to collect here. King Queen will rip it all in. King 9 will think about a call for $3,700. Doesn't it just feel like it's coming? Afghan is getting a bunch of ladders. Love and life. King 9. Oh, it doesn't get it in. Okay. Grozorg says we'll smarten up a little bit. King 2 we rip. We take that down pre 10-6 hits the muck. Okie dokie, okie dokie. Ace 10 will open. 5-3 suited. Efkinus could think about a defend from the big blind. We do really want to preserve chips and just get heads up here. The Quentin still has 12 blinds. We don't really want to play too many pots, you know? We don't really want to call and flop a flush draw. We don't really want to call, flop a straight draw and flush draw. We do want to play ace king for ace 7, but this is stupid. We're probably going to get a limp, a raise, and a jam? Or do we just get a limp, a jam, and a call? Grozorg very well could just rip this in and find a 7 and see the good news. Oh, they just checked king, king 3 flop. Thank God for Grozorg, they did not rip it in. 3 of a kind, the board is locked up. Does the ace chop the pot? I think it does. It goes runner, runner, ace, ace. Anyways, Efkinus, 3 of a kind. With the board pretty well locked up, bets 2 blinds just under pot, and ace 7 just folds. No action there. Ace 7 versus ace king, blind on blind, 3-handed. You would have expected something. Queen jack suited, easy jam from the small. Ace king, an easier call. Jack, jack, jack flop. Oh my fuck. The Quentin's out of here. Another bounty for Grozorg. 163 blinds to 32. Heads up battle. 29k bounty on Grozorg's head. GGGL from Efkinus. GG from Grozorg. Gotta love the respect here. 6-3 opens the button. 8-5 defends the blind with a call. We're off to a flop, and it's 8-7-6. Both players with a pair. Straight draws as well, only for Efkinus. But 6-3 bangs off 2 pairs. Efkinus with top pair and a straight draw to the 4 or 9. They're going to lead out here. Grozorg will raise. How big do we raise? Like 12 blinds? Efkinus rips. We get it in on the turn. Okay, Grozorg just calls. King on the river, not too spicy. Efkinus might even go for a little bit more value. Then Grozorg rips. Bottom 2 pair feels like it's still worth a value jam at some point. Unless our opponent checks here, then we just gotta bet sizable. 8-5 does block bet. Just under 3 blinds. I think we rip and put them all in. Just say good luck to you, dude. Hopefully you don't got a better 2 pairs. No sets. There's some straights out there. 6-3 rips. And 8-5 hates life, blocking a bunch of straights with what was top pair. So like what king X calls the turn? That checks back the flop. Some sort of like king 6. King 7. A little bit of heart combinations in there. Does a king even rip the river? Maybe not. Maybe it's 2 pairs or better that rips the river. I don't know, but if I'm Efkinus, I'm going to think about a call long and hard. Got 5 more seconds. They find it, see the bad news. Grozorg's Sun Run is completed. They get the last pot, the last bounty. We see they scoop about 200k for their efforts, just over that 212,000. Very good game by Grozorg. We'll quickly see where they started this bad boy off at. Where's Grozorg? 46 blinds. Yeah, it does not look like they're going to scoop this one. Holy shit, what a happening. Grozorg puts a show on this stacked ass final table. But I suppose that's the end of the show, so if you made it all the way through, thanks for checking this bullshit out. If you've got any comments or suggestions on improving the show, fire them down in the comments below. And until next time, adios amigos.